Hello, everybody. Welcome to Armchair Expert. I'm Dan Smathers, and Manica Badman is directly across from me in blue on blue.
Per usual.
Beautiful sweater.
Thank you.
Deep blue. Light blue slack jeans.
Mm-hmm.
Denim dungarees.
That's a good description, yeah. But you didn't say it's a turtleneck.
Is it a turtleneck?
Yes.
It's a floppy turtleneck.
Yeah.
It's not actually covering your neck.
Oh, well, yeah, that's true.
It's a deceased turtle. It's a flaccid turtle.
Ooh.
Before I tell you about our exciting guests, I want to tell you that we are doing a show April 20th at the Lenzik Performing Arts Center in Santa Fe, New Mexico. It's going to be a very exciting show. I love Santa Fe. Damn good eats up there in Santa Fe.
Ooh, I'm excited.
So if you come see the show, plan on carving out a little time to fill your gullet. Tickets are going on sale tomorrow, January 22nd at 10 a.m. local time. I don't even know what that means.
Central, Eastern, Pacific. We don't know.
Greenwich time.
Mountain time.
They are in the mountains. You'd think they'd be in mountain time. But yeah, so you can get tickets. Go to our website, armchairexpertpod.com, and you can be directed to buy tickets for that. You know, today we've got a big dog, which I think was one of his monikers. Big
Oh, really?
Dog.
Was it?
Yeah, I think in the 80s or 90s.
Oh.
Big Dog Garage, maybe, was one of his.
Oh, okay. Well, he earned it.
He did. Jay Leno. One thing I think it comes up in the conversation, but you're talking about a comedian that Dave Letterman described as the best stand-up comedian of that whole generation when he was performing. He's just a powerhouse.
Yeah. Yeah, you kind of forget when you're sitting here like, he's a legend.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. People were copying him. I mean, yeah, he's just a force to be reckoned with. He's also just a sweet guy. I think I first did his show to promote Hit and Run. He had seen it on his own and he wanted to help. He reached out to us. He's like, this is the kind of movies people should be trying to see.
Aww.
You made it yourself. So generous. Invited me to his garage, which of course is, if you're into cars,
Mecca.
It's Mecca.
Mm-hmm.
It's major Mecca.
Yeah.
Horsepower heaven. So without further ado, please enjoy Jay Leno. We get support from Quince.
Have you been wearing the Quince linen shirts?
Yeah, I've been wearing them a suspicious amount. Yeah, European linen ones, they're $34, which is genuinely insane for how nice they are.
It doesn't even make sense.
Well, here's the deal. They work directly with the factories, cut out all the middlemen, so you're paying for the actual quality and not some brand's marketing budget. Everything's 50 to 80% less than comparable stuff. I love it because it's all very classic and traditional, and I know I'm going to be able to keep it for a very long time, and the quality's off the charts.
That's true. The style is very consistent. Whatever you get there, you walk down the street, you're going to look good. They have these lightweight cotton sweaters, which I love for when it cools down at night. It's nice drape around your shoulders in the summer and then throw it on when it gets a little cool. And it's not just clothes. They do home stuff, ding, 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 travel stuff, everyday essentials. It's all the same model, quality without the markup.
Make your summer wardrobe easier. Go to quince.com/Dax for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. Now available in Canada too. That's QUINCE.com/Dax for free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/Dax. This episode is brought to you by SoFi, the all-in-one finance app where you can bank, borrow, and invest all in one place.
Let's talk bank accounts for a second. The average bank savings rate is 0.39% in interest. You're earning pennies on your savings, but it does not have to be that way.
With SoFi high-yield checking and savings, the money barely making moves sitting in your savings account can earn over 8 times the national average savings rate with eligible direct deposit.
No account or overdraft fees, which feels rare these days. You can get your paycheck up to 2 days early, perfect for getting ahead of a bill or grabbing what you need right when you need it.
Plus, get up to a $300 welcome bonus when you sign up with eligible direct deposit. Sign up for SoFi checking and savings at SoFi.com/armchair. SoFi checking and savings is offered through SoFi Bank N.A., member FDIC. Terms apply.
He's an armchair expert. He's an armchair expert. He's an armchair expert.
First of all, I think on behalf of Rob and Monica and I, We feel like this is a really big get.
Oh, yeah. Well, that showed you how small this show is.
No. This is a really big get, and you're crazy busy, and we're going to get into that. I would say an unhealthy clip you've been at for some time. And I'm going to
that couldn't get more Hollywood than that. You know, it's so funny. Where I grew up, I was the laziest person anybody knew. Here, I'm like the hardest working person anybody knows. So it's just New England versus L.A. That's really all it is.
Well, I'm from Detroit. We work kind of hard there.
You're from Detroit? Is that what you think?
Yeah, I'm from Detroit. You know that about me.
Right.
But I don't know that people realize this about you. I found this to be shocking, that you do about 200 dates a year still. Or what are you down to now, 150?
No, about 210.
210 live shows a year.
Yeah, that's about right. But you know, that's the only way you stay sharp. The stage is not a natural place to be. And if you don't do it on a regular basis, it becomes unnatural. If you do it every night and a chair falls over or somebody yells or something, when it's unfamiliar to you and something happens, it knocks you out of your rhythm. You know, when I got started, I would practice my jokes at home and write a letter with my left hand to try and compartmentalize your mind so you could talk and do something else at the same time. And that helps you ad lib. Because you get on stage, I'm looking at you, and I see Monica sitting over here, and I'm saying, what could I say about her? What could I say about her? As my act is coming out. So then what appears to be an ad lib is not really an ad lib, but
slightly pre-written.
Slightly pre-written, yeah.
Yeah. Now, when you say you were writing stuff down, how soon did that start? When you started writing comedy?
Well, you know, I'm dyslexic, so I never really wrote anything down.
Yeah.
My attitude towards my career is the same attitude I had in school. I never studied, but I never skipped this class. I never skipped a day of school. So I would just, if you're talking at me, I can absorb a lot. If I'm reading it, my mind wants, what's that, a fly? I wonder where he's going. You know, and I'm just watching the fly.
Sure.
But if I'm listening, okay, that works better for me.
Now, okay, great, because you and I share dyslexia in common, okay? And I know how bad they were at treating it in 1985.
No, that's how you treated it when I was a kid. Hey, smarten up. Hey, smarten up. Hey, smarten up. Hey, smarten up. Ow! All right, good. I got it. All right, yeah.
Pay attention.
Yeah.
Jay, come on.
Yeah, that's what it is, yeah.
Yeah, but what I have realized is a bit of an asset you develop with dyslexia is what you just mentioned, which is this incredible capacity for retaining things you hear orally.
Or things you focus on. I meet an awful lot of, I get dyslexic parents. Oh, you're dyslexic. We have a kid. This is little Timmy, whatever it is. And I always say, what's Timmy interested in? Well, he loves photography. And then he knows this. He knows every camera. He knows. And that's what people with dyslexia tend to do. They find something they like, and then they focus on it like a laser, and they just stay there.
Yeah.
Sometimes to the extent of everything else goes away.
Sure.
For the most part, they do. They focus on something and become quite good at it.
Well, it's such a relief, right, to excel at anything.
Right,
when in
right.
general, most of the elementary experience is pretty rough.
Yeah, and, you know, anybody to focus on, if you become an expert in one area, you have a skill. You're now something viable, something you can sell, because you know more than the other people about this.
Yeah. Now, did you feel stupid? Like, you didn't understand, right, that you had some physiological difference?
No, I remember, like, I was in the 5th grade before I got glasses, and people would always say, oh, you see the man in the moon? I go, man in the moon? I would go outside and go, I see a thing glowing, but I don't, man, what are people? People are crazy. What are they talking about, man in the moon? And then, you know, my parents said, you know, you think you need glasses? Try the... Oh, that's that man in the moon, everybody. Oh, that's what they meant by that. You know, so you sort of go through life, you don't realize it.
As you're saying that, I'm panicking because I have no awareness that there's a man on the moon.
Yeah.
We need to stare at that moon.
You never looked at the man in the moon. You don't see it so much in L.A. But back east where the sky is clear.
In the northern latitude.
Yeah.
Mavis?
Yeah. Well, let me see. Yeah. Let me see.
Pat Churin.
Can I take them?
Oh, please do. Yeah. Oh, it really is Mavis.
Yeah.
This is so wonderful. We're about to learn how you get 38
honey,
years.
Did you just call me? I'm doing you get back okay? I'm doing a podcast. I'll call you back as soon as I finish. Okay. My bad.
Was that pre-planned?
Yeah.
You don't at least appear to me to have the chip on your shoulder that I have, which is like I'm desperately trying to prove at any hour of the day that I'm smart.
Well, it's probably not as obvious. I think when you're in show, but you sort of have a chip on your shoulder. I mean, when you're a kid, you kind of remember every injustice, no matter how small.
Sure.
And you forgive, but you don't forget. My mother always said to me, you're going to have to work twice as hard as the other kids to get the same thing. And that always seemed like a viable solution to me. That always seemed fair. I remember I'd go to the Improv in New York, in the early days, and you'd line up at 6 o'clock on Sunday night for a 10 or 11 o'clock spot. And I would get in line, and inevitably 3 or 4 people in front of me go, "Oh, sucks, I'm out of here." And they'd walk away at 7 or 8. And I go, "Great, I just move up." But I could stay there. I could sit there all night waiting to do it. Whereas other people, well, I'm not waiting for this. I'm better. I'm this.
Their ego starts talking to them, right?
And that's one thing I learned really on. I'm a huge believer in low self-esteem.
It's a great engine, right?
No, it is a great engine because if you have low self-esteem, you don't think you're the smartest person in the room, and you're not always the first to talk. So maybe you're a little less. When I go somewhere, I go, let me look around this room. Okay, that's Neil deGrasse Tyson. He's smarter than me.
Right.
Okay, then under the couch, there's Anna Nicole Smith. Okay, I'll sit in the middle.
Right.
And see which way
identify
this
the
goes.
spectrum and find
and that's what I do. I never assume, well, I got this. I don't. I never do. I always assume, like Will Rogers, you're only as funny as your last joke.
Let's see. I've done your show a couple times.
Right.
The Tonight Show. And then I also did your car show, Jay Leno's Garage.
That was good.
Yeah, and then I went and hung out at you were gracious enough to invite me to
you came to the garage.
Yes, which is Mecca for car nerds like us. So in those, I guess that's really not a ton of exposure to you, but in those 4 short times, I've crafted some theories on you.
All right, go ahead.
This is my favorite thing
All
to
right,
do.
let's say it.
Did you see he's wearing your T-shirt?
By the way, that was a total fucking coincidence.
I wondered.
I'm wearing a Leno's Garage shirt.
Oh, I didn't even see that. No,
But this is great.
I thought I was wearing his T-shirt. I went, I don't have a T-shirt. I didn't see that.
Just side note, when I went on Leno's Garage, I wore denim on denim to match Jay.
You did.
Yeah, it's like
That's
an homage to Jay.
Homage.
But yeah, I woke up this morning, I put on this shirt, and then Monica reminded me while I was at my other job, hey, remember we have Leno today. And then I was like, oh, how embarraing I'm wearing his shirt. Or how great.
Yeah.
I really wear it in real life quite
That was my
often.
favorite thing at the Tonight Show. We'd do jaywalking, and the guy would have a shirt that says Joe's Garage or something.
Yeah.
And I go, have you ever been to Joe's Garage? No. Do you know what that is? No. And I'd ask people questions. It was written right on the T. Do you know the address of where it is? I've never even heard of it. Do you know where so-and-so street is? No. Well, did you look at your... Oh, I didn't realize. Yeah. I mean, it should just happen all the time.
Yeah. But okay, so here's one of my theories.
All right.
You're a very hard worker. Now, whether you want to downplay it and say that that's because you're from the East Coast or not, I think that's horseshit. I think we'd all agree. Also, you said something to me very interesting, and I don't think I'm, what would we say, betraying your confidence.
Oh, go ahead.
You said you have a swimming pool you've never been in.
Yeah, I really haven't, no.
Right.
I mean,
I believe you.
I went into it in 89 to fix the light. And I fixed the light, and once I put the light... No, you know what it is? Because I get to the... My house is in Beverly Hills, which is foolish enough. And I will walk towards the pool, and then I hear that Boston voice. What are you, some kind of hot shit? What are you sit in the pool all day? Is that what you do now? You got nothing to do? Well, you got nothing broken around here? What? No, I do. Well, you got nothing to fix? Well, you going to sit in the pool? What are you going to do? What are you going to do when you get in there? You see, you're in the pool now, but now you're wet. Now what do you do?
Now you're wet.
Yeah. And I can't. And I always get to the pool.
Then
there's always a reason. There must be something I can do besides sit in the pool. No, I don't. I can't. Yeah, no, I haven't gone in. I just feel too guilty.
So there was that. And then another little clue to your psyche was you said Mavis vacations often with her like girlfriends or whatever. She travels. I shouldn't say vacations. She travels.
No, she likes to go to Europe. I'll send her and a whole graduating class as long as I don't have to go.
That's
I mean, to me, it's like a bad day at Disneyland. Oh, look at that. I remember going to Hawaii once, and I go on the beach, and it was 10 o'clock. And I was on the beach about an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours. And I look, it's 10 after 10. I went, my watch broke, and I'm tapping my watch. And I said to this guy, excuse me, sir, do you know what time it is? He gets 10 after 10. You mean I've only been here 10 minutes? I thought I was here like an hour. You mean, really? It's only 10 after 10. How long is this day here? And I came home the next day.
You couldn't do it.
No. Huge, enormous men bring you tiny drinks with umbrellas in them, and it's an odd place.
Yes. Okay. So we're getting into it. I quite often try to figure out at least why I do the things I do. Why
Why
is
try to
my
figure it out?
why
Who
is
cares?
that you and Seinfeld get along great that way? I bet
We do.
Yeah. But you're here, and so when
But
I
you
go
know
on your
that-
show, we're going to look at cars, and we're going to think about identity a little bit.
Seinfeld and I have discussion all the time. There's no more fun place to be than on stage telling jokes. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's like the most fun job in the world.
Totally agree.
And when you're not doing that, you go, what am I doing here? I could be doing that.
all
It's
right.
also that low self-esteem thing. You go, what am I doing on a Tuesday that's worth $100,000?
Yes, I hear you. But here's my question. So we all have our identity, right? Even you, Jay, have yours.
Yes.
And you have I don't know, 3 things you think are good qualities you have that maybe why Mavis has been with you for 38 years. I have my list of things I think are good about myself.
We have a lot in common.
Yes.
We're both
I think so.
monogamous.
Yes.
I always see people, marriage is so hard. And I always say, if you don't screw around, it's really not hard at all.
Well,
women tend to be very loyal creatures for the most part. Those are the ones I've dated. And unless you screw it up some way, it's usually pretty good. I'm not saying, I don't mean in a sexist way. I just mean
I don't think you're being sexist. And I envy that. I really envy that. But Kristen and I require a pretty daily dialogue to keep it humming smoothly.
Yeah.
Now, granted, we're both crazy busy, and she's doing a lot of things. We have 2 little kids.
Right,
so
right.
It requires a shitload of maintenance as much as an Italian car.
But it's not that much. Is it really that hard? It's not really that
If
hard,
I want it
is
to be good, yes. Now, we can coexist. I could definitely just coexist with her and be like, yeah, we're in this together. We're raising these kids as long as they're doing
Well, no,
fine.
that's not any good.
Yeah,
No,
so for it to be
well,
plugged
you know what I
in-
mean? It's like my favorite thing, I always meet these guys and go, I met this girl, man. Oh, she's like crazy. The sex was unbelievable. They go on. And I go, okay, here's the downside, okay? Sex with crazy girls is great, but when the sex is over, they're still crazy.
Right, the sex goes away, but the crazy doesn't.
Now you have 23 hours more of craziness before the good crazy part comes again.
Yes.
Yeah.
But have you ever had a moment where you said to yourself, okay, these top 3 things I think are good qualities of mine. Maybe I've misdiagnosed them. I can give you an example to get the ball rolling.
Yeah, go ahead. Give me that.
Where I'm from, in the childhood I had, being someone that would stand up to guys was a good quality.
You mean like the bullies or something?
Yeah. Or just my group of 4 friends is out, and another group of 4 friends, I'm going to fight with you. I'm not running. I'm going to be there. That's an important thing. I live in Los Angeles. There's no reason to be this way anymore. Yet I continue to be that way for 25 years. And I really still think in my head, what my wife likes about me, one of the things she likes about me is that I will protect her if the shit hits the fan. And what she had to tell me was, I don't like it. I actually feel more in danger when you're around because you're ready to go to that place with people. And I actually don't feel safe.
Right.
And I had to go like, oh, wow. Okay, so I'm slightly wrong about that. Me thinking I'm a great driver. I would actually say that that's something people would listen to. These are crazy thoughts that you have, right?
Yeah. Right. Race car driving is like sex. All men think they're good at it, but they're really not. They're really not.
How dare you?
You really have to talk to the other person. Yeah.
But, okay, so now I'm honing in back to you.
All right.
So, yes, it's important. I think it's important for people to know about you that you're a hard worker, that you wouldn't lounge about in your pool. And I want to know what part of that is. Your mom's from Scotland, right? She came when she was 11.
Well, my parents grew up during the Depression.
There you go.
Okay. I come of a very old family. My grandfather was born in 1857.
Wow.
He was born before
the Civil War.
He was born before the Civil War.
Yeah.
Okay. My dad was born in 1910. So everything was the Depression, and it was this, and was that. We have a letter from the Black Hand, which was the precursor to the mafia.
Is he Sicilian?
No, Napolitan.
Oh, okay.
He had a vegetable cart, and they wanted money. And I mean, it's just like when my grandfather came here, Italians were classified as non-whites, so they were put in this category. In fact, my grandfather had shown me an article once about railing against Italians. Somebody had written, if Italians keep emigrating to this country in 50 years, we'll all be eating pizza. And that was, that was the thing. And I went, well, yeah. But see, I like that about America. Like, salsa just past ketchup is the biggest condiment.
Sure.
But so what? Who cares?
Yeah.
People think salsa's American now. And if you come from Mexico, you meet American salsa, it doesn't take anything like your salsa.
Yeah.
So it's good. It's a big melting pot.
What's funny, though, is their fear was real. It really panned out.
Yeah.
'Cause
Yes.
we are all eating pizza, that's for certain.
Yeah, except Papa John's. But yeah.
But yeah, Dad is first generation from Italy, and Mom is really from Scotland.
My mom is from Scotland. Yeah.
So there's about a triple whammy there. Because you have the Depression, and you also have first generation, the work ethic, the make it in this place. All that stuff is really present in your childhood.
Yeah, it is. And but to me, I think that's good. I remember once we were jaywalking once, and we knocked on a house, and the grandfather answered the door, spoke no English, Spanish. Okay? Then he got the son, who spoke Spanish and English. And then his grandson, who's a teenager, comes over. He's got a Simpson kind of pork pie hat with FU something on the T-shirt. And I go, just to watch it degenerate, down to, everybody becomes Americans when you come
We'll
here.
water you down fast.
Your hamburgers and pizza and French fries and whatever it is. And it just, so you always need that influx of sort of work ethic to take over from the next,
Yes. But what part of it? So I think that's clear in the ingredients of Jay. But then what part of it is? Do you have any embarrassment or shame about the fact that you make a living just being funny? Is there some element that you feel like, well, okay, that's kind of embarrassing. I do that to make money, so I'm going to do it a shitload to make up for that, to prove but I'm still working my ass off. Is that?
Yeah, I think that's so. I mean, I think it's, I remember Alan King used to do a bit about that, about exhaustion is a rich man's disease. Oh, Larry's exhausted. Oh, man, he's working in the office all day. Oh, he's exhausted. Meanwhile, a guy digging a coal mine, boss, can I get in that hole, you son of a bitch. Kick him back in the hole. Get back to work, because he can't be exhausted. But the guy who just sits at a computer, I'm exhausted. I got to lie down. But the guy down there digging a hole in a coal mine all day, no, he can't afford to be exhausted. So, yeah, it is a rich man's disease. It's a first world problem. To me, the best people in show business are the ones that never complain. Never complain, never explain. That's what it is.
Wait, how's the never explain work?
I just don't complain and don't explain. You got to, no, I don't have any problems. I'm fine.
Oh, okay.
I just go through life because to me, rich people don't have any problems. I'm sorry. I know that sounds weird, but most people's problems could probably be handled by having a mortgage paid or something rather. Like in my house, I'm like a big shot. When I go back home, no, Jay gets the big meatball. No, Jay gets the big meatball because he put the roof on Uncle Louie's house and he paid the kids college and he did. So Jay gets the big meatball. Okay, but I get the big meatball. And it's good. And it's fine. And I like that. It's fun to be in that position.
Yeah. Jay gets the big meatball.
I do get the big meatball.
You've earned the big meatball.
Oh, yeah, when you go back to because, there was nothing funny when I was a kid between the Scotch and the Italian. Like, I'd go to my Aunt Nettie's house. That was my mother's sister. Would you like a spoon, Jamie? And she'd give me a stale biscuit and a warm Coke. And she'd say, Jamie, you don't need to keep the Coca-Cola in the refrigerator. It tastes the same. It costs money to keep it cold, but it tastes the same. And she'd pour it warm and all the fizz would come out of it, And then she'd give me the stale biscuit. And then on Sundays, we'd go to the Italian side of the family, and there'd be way more food.
Yeah.
And my Aunt Nettie would go, Jamie, look at the waste, Jamie. There's 8 people. There must be 30 meatballs. Jamie, it's a waste the way the Italian people, they waste food, Jamie. They just cook and they throw it away. They couldn't be done. And just to watch them argue back and forth always made me laugh.
Yeah, okay, but now I'm going to disagree with you on one thing, which
go
is,
ahead.
yeah. So I was dead penniless for 10 years living in L.A. before I started working as an actor.
So was I.
Okay. It wasn't worse. Like you say, if you're rich, you don't have problems. But I go, that's kind of horseshit, and that's kind of the fantasy we're selling. But I don't mind saying,
well, here's my problem.
It's awesome not to worry about my kids' medical bills or the price of gas. That fucking rules. And if I want to order pizza, I don't even think about it. That's great. But in general, my level of overall anxiety or how much I obsess about things, that didn't really change with money. Didn't fix that.
Well, it changed for me.
It
I
did.
think so, yeah, it does.
Okay.
And when you live in this town, you get this is why you really need to go out into the real world and see what real people do. And it makes you appreciate it. I remember not long ago, I was talking to a girl I went to high school with. Hadn't talked to in years. Hey, how you doing? We call up, just a mutual friend with him. And I said, well, you sound like you're in a good mood. What's up? She goes, I'm in a good mood. I got a raise. I said, oh, what'd you get? She goes, $1,000. And I went, oh, cool. And I went, a week? She went, no, you asshole. I mean, because in show business, you know, you're getting an extra $3,000 a week.
Well,
you
actually,
you think like that. You don't think the way real people think. And it's just, and I realized, I always sound like such an asshole. I didn't mean, but you know, when you talk to Seinfeld, or you talk to you, or you talk to somebody in a TV show, and they get a raise, you get a raise in thousands, not hundreds, or not tens.
And you're actually negotiating your per week fee, your per episode fee. So it actually, makes sense to us.
Yeah.
But yeah, do you feel guilt about that? Like Kristen feels a good amount of guilt about that.
I mean, I do a lot. I have a lot of foundations. I have a lot of charity things. Send a lot of kids to college, do stuff like that.
Yeah.
I mean, that's great fun. And that really, you know, it really does make you feel good.
Sure.
You know, when you can pay for a kid's college education, go, here you go.
Yeah.
Oh, and you realize when I was a kid, there was probably student debt. I didn't know any. Not like now.
No.
I mean, 40-year-old guys that owe $100,000.
Oh.
And I go, where did that? When I went to college,
You went to Emerson. And what was tuition a year at Emerson?
it was, well, if you lived in the dorm, it was $5,000 a year back then.
Okay, even I went to UCLA and graduated in 2000, and mine was $3,800 a year for my tuition. And now I hear that USC, I think, is $60,000 a year.
Yeah,
or something.
it's like crazy.
Who the fuck can send their kid to
That's
school?
right.
It's
That's
crazy.
right. Exactly.
Yeah, I don't feel guilt about it because I go, it's a crazy big risk. It's an incredible gamble to pursue stand-up comedy, show business in general.
It is.
It is. The odds are such that, you know, if you make it is like playing the lottery. So I kind of feel like the pay should be commensurate with the crazy risk. Because I had a college degree. Friends of mine were buying ski boats and shit and cabins up north.
Right.
And I'm in a one-bedroom apartment with cockroaches in Santa Monica. I'm like, this is maybe not going to work out. This gamble's not going to work out.
I got arrested twice for vagrancy.
Did you really?
Yeah, up on Hollywood Boulevard. When the cops had seen me go, hey, come here. You got a place to live yet? Well, not. Get in the back. And they put me back in the police car, and they drive around till their shift ended at like 6 or 5:30. And I would get out of the car and walk around Hollywood Boulevard again. I mean, they're always very nice to me.
Sure.
I would just tell them jokes and stuff. And the cops weren't rousting me. They were just, what are you doing? Like, get in the back.
Yeah.
I knew jokes, so I always would try to have some kind of joke. Hey, this kid's kind of funny, you know. And they were always okay to me.
Yeah.
In fact, my star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame is where I got picked up twice.
Oh, that's serendipitous.
Yeah.
Okay, so you go through school as a dyslexic. That's not easy. And what kid are you in high school? Like, what strata are you in? Are you liked?
I was like, I got funniest kid in class. And all that kind of stuff. Yeah, I was liked. I wasn't a mean kid. You know what? I finally realized I don't have to apologize for not being the pissed off, angry comic. I'm not angry. I'm not an angry guy. But you feel like, you have to pretend because, you know, all comedians like to feel they have some sort of open wound that the audience can see, and they're doing this in spite of that. But you realize that's just a crutch because that's what you use. You say, well, I was funny and I was high the whole time and I was funny. Because they don't want to deal with the real them. So they perform drunk or they perform high or they have some sort of anxiety or a relationship problem, something that's keeping them from being the best that they can be, not realizing this is the best that they can be. You know, and I realized I used to try and work as if I had that, but I don't.
What I love about you is you and my mom are roughly the same age.
Okay.
You're from a different generation than I am. And I love a lot of you can just get over yourself and fucking make the jokes and be done with it. I like it.
Write joke, tell joke, get check. That's what it is. Write joke, tell joke, get check.
I like it, but at the same time, there's causality for everything, right? So one thing is you were born quick-witted or whatever. You had some peculiar point of view that made your observations funny and original to people that heard them. But also, you wanted some attention for whatever reason. There's got to be a reason, right? We'd be funny to get attention.
I think all comics can remember stuff they said that got a reaction. And that's why you're able to remember an act. You don't remember the stuff that wasn't funny. I mean, my first recollection of that was I was 4 or 5, and my mother took me to some ladies, my aunts or something, were having a tea. And we went to his apartment in Brooklyn. I ride in the elevator, and I'm sitting there, and there's like 5 or 6 women, and, you know, they're drinking wine and giggling away, you know. And I was watching these women. I asked what I thought was a reasonable question. I said, Mom, why do women all have humps like camels? Why? Oh, listen to that! Oh, my God! Kitty, that son of yours. I said, what did I say? But I just remember speaking again. This, oh my God, did you hear what the little one said about this? And they just went on and on with it. And I went, oh, well, this is cool. I did something. What did I say? I tried to figure out what I said that got a reaction, you know.
Yeah.
And the next time it happened was in the fourth grade. It was in Mrs. Allen's class. And I remember she was talking about the Sheriff of Nottingham and how cruel he was. And she would often take... when they caught Robin Hood's men, they would boil them in oil. And I put my hand up and I said, you know why she did that to Tuck? And she said, no, why? Because he was a friar. And all right. And as she was scolding me, I could see her kind of smiling. You know, I went, oh, no, I think she liked it. And then later in the hall, I was walking down the hall, and one of the others, she said, hey, Jay, come here. Miss Allen, what did you say in Miss Allen's class? What, something, what's the friar talk? I said, oh, yeah. I went, she told somebody else.
Yeah.
Oh, my joke.
It's cool.
Oh, yeah. And then I learned very quickly in the fifth grade talent show, I think it was me and I think it was Joel Vestusia. I wrapped him in bandages head to toe.
Joel Vestusia.
Yeah, he was wrapped in bandages head to toe.
This is such a New York name, by the way. Joel
and
Vestusia.
I wheeled him in on a hand cart, and he had 2000 BC. Yeah, he was a mummy. You know? And I had a plant in the audience say, what's that number on his chest? I go, oh, that's the license number of the truck that hit him. You know? Okay, so it got a big laugh, and then I realized I got nothing else.
Yeah, this great prop joke.
Now he's there, and he's wrapped in the mummy. And I realized, okay, no more prop comedy. Because I'm stuck. And now I got a guy dressed as the mummy in a handcart.
You got to get him off the stage
now I got to get him out of here.
Or you have some guy with
that's all I had, the one joke.
the frontest row seat of all time.
That was the end of that, yeah.
What a tremendous memory.
Yeah,
You can remember
by the
names. His mom is the same way.
I interviewed my mom in here, and she knows, I swear she knows every single student's name she went to school with. It's incredible.
You know who you should interview is Mary Lou Henner.
Oh, I know about her. She has super memory.
Super memory?
She was on 60 Minutes. They profiled it. Yeah, there's a handful of people.
We went out for a while. She can tell you the waiter's name, what we had for dinner, how much the check was. I mean, if you said to her, July 13th, 16, 18, Friday. I mean, she can
tell you the weather.
Oh, yeah, she's really smart. Yeah.
And the cool thing about that segment was they had like 5 or 6 people that had that.
Yeah.
And what they found is the area of the brain that is responsible for that is also where OCD lives. So all those people that have that are also OCD. So Mary Lou talked about her closet and the way her shoes are organized. And everything in her life is meticulous like that.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's fascinating, isn't it?
It's funny.
So you were likable, and did you also find being funny it's a great way to start chatting with gals, right?
Yeah, I think so. I never...
You didn't like girls?
I like girls.
Oh, okay.
But I always found...
I didn't like girls.
I always found that kindness worked.
Uh-huh.
I never got... You know, they call 7 the age of reason because it is the age of reason. Every kid I knew who was a bully at 7 is still kind of a bully.
Okay.
Everybody who was shy at 7 is still kind of... I mean, everybody... You know, the kids that were shooting BB guns at birds when I was 7, I didn't want to shoot birds. Why am I shooting birds with BB guns? I don't want to... And I remember getting picked on for not wanting to do that.
Yeah.
And then those guys are still doing the equivalent. But I mean, so it doesn't really change.
I agree, though. But did you find... I wonder, because you and I have similar hobbies. So I often am in situations where it's like, I love this thing, and yet these aren't my people. Does that make any sense?
Yes, it makes perfect sense. But that's because as a comedian, you're an observer. I don't do anything that's show business. I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't do drugs, I don't screw around. But I am amused by people who do.
Stay tuned for more Armchair Expert, if you dare.
Confidence. It's listening to your gut. It's moving forward, even when the path ahead is unclear. For nearly 160 years, Pacific Life has helped people keep their promises, building confidence for generations. Whether you're confident in your financial future or just beginning to envision it, we're here to help. Ask a financial professional how. Pacific Life, the power of a promise. Pacific Life Insurance Company, Omaha, Nebraska, and in New York, Pacific Life and Annuity, Phoenix, Arizona.
So having Charlie Sheen on the show was always very funny to me because I don't want to be Charlie Sheen. I remember one time I was talking to Charlie. He just said, "I like coke and hookers," and the audience applauded. I went, "What are you applauding for?" And I realized they're applauding just because he was so honest.
Yes, you got to applaud honesty.
He just applauded honesty, and I said to myself, every time a group of hookers would push one of Charlie's Mercedes-Benz off the Mulholland Drive and it'd go down the hill, go down the cliff, it always used to make me laugh. I don't want to be that person, but I enjoy.
It's an amazing bonfire to sit next to.
I enjoy observing it. I didn't fit in here, and I didn't fit in there, but then I like not fitting in anywhere. I like observing it. For example, I am not religious at all, but I like religious people. Because they seem to have a center and it works for them. And that's okay. And like I said, I don't drink, I don't smoke. So we have something in common.
Sure.
And plus when you're in a business like show business, some people think you're good and some people think you suck. And they're both correct. But when you take something that's broken and you fix it, nobody can say it's not running. Remember that car you brought here that didn't run? Well, turn the key. Okay. You can't say it's not running.
I'm wondering if you were, and again, this is not for you and Jerry. I admire both of you.
Yeah.
Have you ever been curious why you were drawn to cars so much? Because I feel like for me personally, I have figured out why I enjoy. In fact, when I was doing your show, I think I tried to get you to go down this road with me.
What was that?
I'm a control freak. I want to control everything. And again, probably because of my childhood, there were a lot of elements I couldn't control. Right. And then I found this thing, like, as to your point, if you take this piece of the engine off and you put it back on correctly and you put a new part on, it's going to work.
Right.
I find that deeply satisfying, that it's a little realm that does abide by all these laws of physics. An engine needs compression, spark, or fuel and air. And if that you start going through the checklist. I love that.
Well, plus I like the fact that doing two things at once. Like, to me, moving and eating at the same time, that's fabulous. You're in a car, but eating in a car while you're moving. When I was a kid, there was nothing greater than we go to McDonald's and then, okay, pull away, Dad. And then I would be eating so I always feel like I'm doing two things at once. I'm eating and moving.
Yeah.
So I'm accomplishing two things at the same time. Yeah, like when I fly, I read a book or I write. And I go, good, I'm stuck here and I'm doing something while I'm going somewhere. So I'm actually accomplishing. Things are happening. Yes. I'm not just a slug. I'm not just lying here like a puddle.
Yes.
I'm actually accomplishing something. I'm doing something.
But when did you fall in love with cars? Do you remember what age?
Oh, since I was a little kid. I remember my uncle I had my cousin married a guy who was a cop. And he came over one day and he had a 56 Harley Panhead. I was 6 years old. And it was that one with the two-tone windshield. Mm-hmm. And on the windshield, there was one of those, those girl air fresheners they used to have where the girls, it wasn't a bikini, it was like a two-piece bathing suit, and maybe you could see her belly button. Yeah. So I went over to look at my mother and said, get away from that. And I said, Mom, I don't want, never mind, look at that. I'm trying to look at the button. Get away. So I was always fascinated by Harleys from that point on.
Don't look at that one with the camels on
and I wasn't looking at the one. I was trying to look at the motorcycle. Yeah.
Did your dad have a cool car ever?
I came home from the hospital in a 49 Plymouth. Then we bought a 57 Plymouth Fury, black and white, Crabtree Motors in New Rochelle, New York. Then we bought a 64 Ford. The salesman's name was Tom Lawrence, Shawsheen Motors. And then we traded that in on a 66 Ford from Tom Lawrence again. We go into the Ford dealership after buying the 64 Galaxy. We're going to get a 66 Galaxy. And it's all Fairlanes and Falcons. My father said, where's the full-size car? We don't have any. Oh, let's go to the Chevy. Oh, Mr. Leno, you can order a car. Oh, no, how long? It's going to take 4 to 6 weeks. I said, Pop, let's order a car, So my dad said, I don't know. Come on, we'll order the car. So I get the Galaxy, like you got the new. Yeah, give me a new version of this. So I said to my mom, can I order the engine, And my mother said, oh, let the boy order the engine. What difference does it make, I said, okay. So I had what I wanted. So I took Tom Lawrence aside. I said, okay, we want the 7-liter Galaxy with the police pursuit package. I want the muffler delete option. I want the C6 automatic with the bucket seats. I couldn't get my dad to get a stick.
What is that, a 409 in that car?
No, a 428.
Oh, 428.
A Ford, yes.
Okay.
So my father said, what do I sign? Just sign here, Pop. He signs the thing. You're fine. About 6 weeks later, your car's in. We go uptown. You drive up to get the car. We go, bucket seats. What the hell is this with the bucket seats? No, that's the way they come to. Oh, jeez, I don't want buckets. Oh, for Christ's sake. All right, fine. All right, so my dad gets a car. And he turns the key. He goes, "Hunga, hunga, hunga." I go, "There's a hole in the goddamn muffler. It's a brand new car with a hole in it." "No, Mr. Leno, you ordered the muffler. Wait, what the hell? What do you mean muffler delete? Look, you checked muffler delete." And my father looks at it. Okay, and he goes, "Police pursuit package. What the hell is that?" Now he's all pissed off. He goes, "Oh, for Christ's sake, get in the goddamn car." So my mother gets in the car, I get in the back, My father gets in, he starts the car, and he puts it in drive, and he just steps on the car, goes, "Yeah!" And he goes, "It's a goddamn rocket ship! This thing, what the hell did I buy here?" So now he's just screaming at me all the way home, right? So he doesn't speak to me for like a week. And then he just give me the cold shoulder, Then about a month later, I'm in his bedroom, I'm in my parents' room looking for something. And I see my father got a ticket for going 110.
Oh, wow.
And it turned out he was the coolest guy at the office because he was the manager. And now he had the fastest car.
Yeah.
So when they went to lunch, everybody wanted to go with Mr. Leno because he had the fastest car. So he got nailed one day for 110. So it was kind of funny. So after that, he liked it.
Do you have that car?
I wrapped that one around a tree.
But you did?
But when you came to my garage, you saw my maroon 7-liter 66 Galaxy with the 511 Roush motor in it and the 6-speed manual. And
that's a sick machine.
It's fabulous.
So I brought my friend Tom Hansen to your garage.
Yeah.
And Tom Hansen is a bona fide encyclopedia of cars and bicycles and motorcycles.
Right.
Same age as you.
Right.
Mostly foreign cars he's collected over the years.
Right.
But I generally, with him, I can talk about 70% of the way there, and then he loses me at some single-barrel carburetor that was on a Ferrari or something.
I don't think Forever came with a single-barrel carburetor, but
No, many single-barrel carburetors. Yeah. Right,
No,
some of those had...
it was 2 barrels. Yeah. Or it was Weber 2 barrels. Yeah.
Oh, they were always Weber? I thought some of those...
No, those are always 2 barrels.
Oh, look at this. I'm already embarrassed.
No, you had 4 2 barrels
Schooled.
I bring Tom Hansen, and you guys start talking. And it starts macro. It starts with, it's a V8. It's a 427. It's the Rat. It's then we're talking about the cam. And then we get to torquing main bearing torque settings. Yeah. And I'm out. I'm out at some point. And then I see you guys keep going, and then I notice, oh my God, I've never seen this look on Tom Hansen's face. He's out of information. Jay's still going. Jay still has another rung of information. We left there, and I go, oh my God, you just got out Tom Hansen by Jay. It was something to witness. So when people know Jay's a car guy, I don't think they really understand to what level Jay is a car guy. I'm talking like every bolt of the engine.
Well,
what
a lot of it is
from.
useless knowledge, of which is not any particular use to anybody.
That being said, it's the most in-depth knowledge I've ever witnessed, and I wouldn't have even known it unless I saw Tom Hansen bail out. That was the beauty of the whole experience.
Yeah.
So do you think that's wrapped into dyslexia a bit, probably, right? That was something you're like, oh, I can memorize all these things.
I don't like to read fiction because I always feel like this didn't happen. Why am I reading this? So I like to read technical things or manuals or history of transportation and things like that. So it's knowledge which is of very little use to anybody. Yeah?
But now driving, the first time you get in a car and you go, oh my goodness, I'm entirely in charge of this.
Right.
I move this and the same thing happens every time. And I hit the gas and it's predictable.
When I was 12, we lived in New England. It's a rural area. And somebody abandoned an old Renault 4CV, a little 4-cylinder Renault car.
Good car to abandon.
Yeah, so we got it running, and we would just drive it around our backyard. And my mom would watch from the dining room window, and there'd be 4 of us guys just driving this car over fields and berms. And of course, now they call child services, and the parents would be taken away. But back then, kids could do that kind of stuff. You can't really do that anymore. Now it's you're mixing dangerous gases and fluids, and but back then it was fairly common.
Yeah, it was a time you weren't lighting something on fire.
Right,
she was probably just relieved.
Right, lighting stuff on fire was always fun.
And did you have WD-40 and a Bic lighter?
Oh yeah,
that's
you know where WD-40 comes from?
What?
It was developed by the Army. The Army wanted a water dispersant. They wanted something you could spray on a surface. It would dispense water. It took them 40 tries. So WD-40 is water dispersant 40th try.
Oh,
Oh,
that's
interesting.
fantastic.
Yeah, there you go. Hey, more useless facts.
Learning.
You know, I just recently realized, I think 2 years ago, that Arby's, why it's called Arby's.
You know why it's called Arby's?
RB.
RB.
Roast beef.
Roast
That
beef.
flew right over my head.
The secret to Arby's was the slicer because they couldn't slice roast beef thin enough to make it profitable. Because roast beef always came in thick slices.
Yeah.
So kind of the sandwich was never consistent. One sandwich might be this big, another sandwich would be this big. So they invented this slicer. They could literally slice it almost like onion skin newspaper, and then you could fold it. So you could put 4 or 5 folds, so it looked like a lot more roast beef.
Yeah, it
than
looked like a
was.
pound of.
Yeah, right, right.
Well, when I was a kid, my Papa Bob would take me to Arby's, and all I would do is stare at that slicer.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
it
the
gave me
slicer was- yeah.
tremendous anxiety
That
about
was
how easily your fingertips would
Yeah,
just disappear in that
exactly,
machine.
Exactly.
But so you would drive this old Renault, and what was your first car? What was your first
34
car?
Ford pickup truck with a flathead V8. Yeah.
Okay. And did you have like a mechanic mentor, or did you just learn by taking parts
No, I
off
took
and-
things apart. I remember taking the lawnmower apart, and here's why it's not running. There's this piece of paper between the head and the cylinder. Let me get rid of that. And I just thought there was paper in there for some reason. I threw it away. I put the engine back together. I started just shooting stuff out the side. Oh, maybe that was my father. That's a gasket. Oh, I see. I
Yeah.
just thought it was like a piece of paper. Something got stuck in there.
Yeah, I actually feel bad for kids who grew up with money because why would you learn to work on a car? Like, I just had to do it out of absolute necessity. I had an 84 Mustang GT, and the thing
it
broke
was-
every hour.
It was just different. I mean, my mother knew nothing about cars, but she knew when she took the air cleaner off the Valiant and stuck the screwdriver down the round thing, it would start easier.
Uh-huh.
So people were forced to just have to work on cars.
Now, when you were, did you graduate in what, 68?
I graduated in 68, yeah.
And so the hot car when you were a senior was a 68 Chevelle was a big one, right?
Well, when I was a kid, it was probably the movie Bullet had come out.
Oh, the Mustang.
So, of course, the Mustang with a 390, that was a hot car. The Dodge Charger, all that kind of.
Sure.
That movie probably got more people wear seatbelts because you see where the bad guys go. I mean, when they click that seatbelt, the audio guy turned the sound all the way up because it goes, and it just made you cool to click a seat. Before that, it wasn't cool to click a seatbelt.
Right.
And in fact, when we bought our 66 Galaxy, my father said to the salesman, because I was going to be driving, he says, now this new car have seatbelts? Seatbelts? Hey, Louie, we got a race car driver here. What are you, a bad driver, Mr. Leno? You need some kind of seat? What are you, crash with that? Just humiliate
yeah,
my father.
shame you for wanting to keep your son
Yeah, and
safe.
then when the car came in, he showed us if you roll the seatbelt up and move the seat forward, you can put the whole belt in the crevice. You never see it again.
Oh, right.
Yeah, it keeps it out of the way.
But now you crashed that Galaxy.
Yeah, I wrapped that around a tree.
Were you showing off?
Of course.
Okay, thank God. I'm glad you owned it.
Duh.
So on your show, Jay Leno's Garage,
Yeah.
you took a ride in it. Monica, this will blow your mind.
Okay.
There's a very famous wheelie machine. What was the name
Oh,
of the
that
wheel?
was the Hemi under glass.
The Hemi under glass. A guy had put a Hemi in the back of was that a Dart? Or
A Hemi
something?
V8 in the back of a 66 Barracuda had the big glass
Barracuda,
window.
yes.
And he originally did it to go drag racing, thinking he would get more traction, not realizing it would bring the front end up. And it was fast, but not faster than anything else. But the fact that you do these incredible wheel stands, it would literally jump.
Yeah.
The point where you put sort of like shopping cart wheels on the back, so it went up on the back, it would go down the whole strip with the front end in the air. And there was a
He had, like-
plexiglass floor that he would look through to drive it.
And so you knew what's his name?
Bob Riggle.
Bob Riggle. So you must have had admiration and
Oh,
love
I remember
for
when
him,
I was
right?
a kid. Yeah.
So Jay has him on his show, and Jay gets in the passenger seat, and this guy rips a wheelie, and they immediately just start rolling.
Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, so it was
It was intense.
it
Oh
was
my
the
God.
highest rated automotive clip of 2016.
Without question. That
Oh,
like
hilarious.
hit my inbox at like 7 in the
Oh, yeah,
morning
it was
from
fantastic,
friends
yeah.
in Detroit.
Yeah.
Now, when I put myself in your shoes, here's exactly what goes through my mind. I don't give a fuck about rolling in this car. Who cares? I'm alive. I can tell that when I
Right.
land. My panic, my codependency of like, oh no, this guy I love just ate shit on TV. Oh man. Were you panicked at all for his ego? That's what would have freaked me out about that
I don't
accident.
know. I'm not a panicky person. I don't really. I mean, when I knew we were going to roll, I kind of just pull my hands in, and we just kind of rolled. In fact, the funny part was the marshal came over. He said to Bob Riggle, "What's your name?" He said, my name's Bob Riggle. How old are you? 81 years old. He said, what's your name? I said, my name is Bob Riggle, and I'm 81 years old. One of these two men is the real Bob Riggle. And just got a big laugh.
I mean, the fact that you were going to let an 81-year-old
Oh, wow. I
do
know.
a quarter-mile wheelie with you is fantastic just out of the gates.
yeah.
But I would just be so nervous for Mr. Riggle. I'd be like, oh, no, he probably is. Well, let's put it
Well,
this
I think
way.
you felt bad.
Yes, I would be super embarrassed if I got Jay Leno in my car and then I rolled.
Well, I split it with him. I paid for half the car.
Oh, you did?
When it rolled, yeah.
Oh, that's good. You're not codependent. It doesn't seem. At least you just passed my codependency test. That would have really freaked me out. Okay, so I'm gonna speed through some things.
Go ahead.
You get out of that Boston school, Emerson,
Right.
and you start doing stand up in college, or
Oh, I did it while I was in college.
While you were in
Yeah.
college.
My parents wanted me to finish, and I said I would. At the time, I didn't really get anything out. You know, Boston at that time was pretty serious. The Vietnam War was going on. There were a lot of like hootenanny nights, they used to call them. Yeah, they put 2 candles in the cafeteria, and that'd be the Two-Toe Cafe. I mean, there are thousands of students willing to be entertained by people with no talent, and that's pretty much what it was.
Okay.
But it was mostly that serious kind of, the lights would be dark, and the guy with a flashlight under his chin, they'd turn it on, stop your war machine, man, click, and turn it off, and then run off to another corner and do it over there, you know. And so doing comedy was like, what? Comedy? This is a serious time, you know.
Yeah.
There weren't a lot of people doing comedy.
now you got a degree in speech pathology.
Yeah, you're right. I only did that because I remember going to college and going, what? Is there anything that's not written? Well, speech pathology, you have to give an oral talk at the end of the year. How long do you have to talk for? 20 minutes. And I said, well, that's easy. And other guys going, 20 minutes? You can't talk for 20 minutes. I would see kids literally having conniptions over this. Like,
Sure.
I could bullshit for 20 minutes. That's the easiest thing in the world. So, yeah. But I know nothing about severe diphthongs and all that.
That was the motivator.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. What's the easiest way to get through this? Terrible student. And I remember I went into school. I went into the admission. I had flunked out of Bentley School of Accounting and Finance. My parents just enrolled me there. I knew nothing about. I lasted 4 months, and then in June I went to Emerson, and I went in. I had this guidance guy. He goes, you know, your grades are bad. It's too late to take anybody now. Even if your grades are good, you're better than this, you'd still have to go to summer school. I said, can I go to summer school? He goes, well, it's a little late for that, too. It starts next week. I said, how much is summer school? He said, $1,300, which is a lot of money. I said, oh, okay. So I reached in my pocket, and I said, I got $1,300. He slid it, and he went, you're in. And I said, do I have to go to summer school? He said, nope. I said, thank you.
Oh, wow.
Worked out great.
That's exciting.
That was an important lesson. How real life works.
Sure.
How real life. You know, you realize I remember we were on our way to the Boston Comedy here. Abby Hoffman speak. Remember him? Abby Hoffman. And no one had ever said the word fuck in a microphone before, but he did. And this caused a huge thing. So everyone wanted to go hear this speech. So me and my friend Amos Tucker, he's a guy with long hair, we're walking down. There's 3 of us. This cop goes, hey, where you kids going? Going down here, Abby Hoffman. No, you're not. We should turn around and go home. I'm not going to listen to that hippie. And my friend said, first of all, you can't stop us. He goes, I got this right here. He picked out my nightstick. And my idiot friend goes, first of all, I know my rights, okay? As an American, you just can't stop someone to hit them. That's against the law. This guy just beat the shit out of me, pounded him on the head. And then he said, where you going? Me? I said, I'm going back to the dorm. Yeah, you guys want to go back to the dorm? And we just carried Amos back. He's all bruised and bad. I go, welcome to real life. Hello? A guy with a gun and a stick is talking to you. Really? Don't get an argument with this guy. But I could just tell by my friend's tone. First of all, you can't. I know you can't hit me with that because now you're daring the guy.
Yeah.
He's really not the brightest thing.
He's a constitutional scholar all of a sudden.
Another how real life works.
So I want to put, this is interesting to me because my group of comedians I was idolizing, you know, you already had the Tonight Show by the time I was started like really fetishizing different comedians. But I was listening to Stern and Letterman was on and Howard was asking him like, okay, describe the scene in LA in the late 70s, I guess, when you were doing stand-up, like who was doing what? And he said, well, hands down, the best stand-up comedian in America was Jay Leno. There's no question. And That was huge context for me. To hear Letterman, someone who I idolize.
Letterman was a great wordsmith. You know, I was someone, when we first met, I was a better performer than writer. I could, by being loud and so, sort of commanding the stage, I could make something funnier than it was. Letterman, being a great wordsmith, could underplay it. His performance was not very
dynamic,
nervous and looking down. But the words he chose to speak, Letterman would never say a drink. He would always say, I was having an adult beverage. And, he always chose, I enjoy listening to comedians talk the way other people like to listen to music, because I like the lyrical way Norm Macdonald, one of my favorites, just the way he phrases things and picks just the right word. So much of comedy is picking the right word. Bob Newhart is one of my all-time favorites, and Bob Newhart had a bit, and this is just the right word. He had a bit about the first astronaut in space that makes extraterrestrial communication. And he comes back to Earth, and it's a press conference, and the reporter says to the astronaut, "How much further ahead of us are they?" And Bob says, "About 6 weeks." And and it's the perfect the perfect number. 2 years you can't catch up. 1 week, but 6 weeks, nobody can catch up to 6 weeks. It's just you can see it, but you can't. Only 6 weeks ahead. I'll never catch him. And just picking the right word. And Letterman was always great at just having the right phraseology.
So you remember him?
Oh yeah. I think we made each other better. I mean, I think he watched me and thought, "How can you be that self-confident on stage?" And I watched him and go, "I gotta pick better." I realized that using obscenities never worked for me because it just seemed lazy. It's calling someone an asshole is not as funny as calling them a syphilitic druid. It was just a funnier.
Sure.
And when I would go on Letterman, I'd always try to find phrases that Dave would like. I remember years ago we were talking about going to the carnival and these syphilitic druids are throwing anthrax spores into children. How horrible it was. And Letterman, when people are laughing on the way to the joke, that's when you know you got it. Because a joke's a joke. And a civilian can tell a joke if it's got a funny punchline and get a laugh. But a comedian can make it funny on the way to the punchline.
Sure.
And that's the real trick, is getting them laughing before you get there.
Right. Whip them into a little lather before.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. So you went on to the Tonight Show for the first time in 1977?
Yeah, March 2nd, I think it was, yeah.
Your memory's crazy.
I know.
I feel like I need to go see a neurologist. Did you love Carson?
I was a big fan of Carson. I was a big fan of any comedian that was funny without props. I like people that looked normal but were funny.
Right.
I mean,
he
Johnny
was
Carson,
almost too handsome, you would think, to be as funny as he
Benny,
was.
John Biner, all the guys from that era that could use words really effectively without having to, I like Milton Berle. He's funny enough, but I'm just not a flower in the pel, squirt water to people kind of guy.
Sure.
I mean, just someone who could, Oscar Levant, all these kind of guys who could just throw little phrases and things out and be funny.
Yeah. Well, when you were talking about word selection, of course, I thought of Seinfeld, of just being like...
Seinfeld, too, another great wordsmith.
Yeah, someone that will probably do 20 different sets where he tries out 20 different words, right?
It's economy of words. It's getting there in the shortest possible time. Because the longer the joke takes, boy, the funnier it better be.
Right.
And when people who are not... When you hear comedians talk, they get right to the meat of it. It's not, so then I go. So like she says, like to me, you know what I'm talking about? I can always tell when a guy's a writer, not a comic, because they'll say things like, so I exclaimed. Okay, no, first of all, nobody exclaims. Only writer exclaims. Nobody exclaims in real life.
Right. So you started doing, you would do stand-up on his show pretty often? Carson.
It's funny. I never really clicked. I never really got the Tonight Show. And then one day they came and said, I got it. And growing up in New England, I had a hard time calling him Johnny. It was always Mr. Carson or,
sure.
John. It just seemed odd to me. It wasn't until I got to Letterman that I could really be myself, because show business is the opposite of real life. In that, I remember I would go for auditions. Okay, read this part. Okay. And I read and I go, well, thank you, everybody. Very nice to meet you all. Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate this. I will call you. Okay, thank you very much. I never got anything. And then one day I got the script and I went, this is the worst fucking thing I've ever read. And I went and I said, before I get started, who wrote this piece of shit? Now they're laughing. Da-da-da-da-da. And I thought I read it terribly. I get home. Hey, they loved you. Come on. What do you mean? I was rude. I was obnoxious. And I realized, it's the opposite of real life. Whatever works for you in the real world doesn't work in show business.
Sure. Well, it's also a little bit like dating. Like you got to give them some sense that you're completely unavailable for this role to get them interested,
exactly,
right?
Exactly, yeah.
Stay tuned for more Armchair Expert, if you dare.
So when you started guest hosting in '87, and how many?
86, actually. Yeah, I think
Okay.
86, 87.
I'll certainly believe you more than Wikipedia.
Yeah. Well, sorry.
So in '86, did you have that experience that comics talk about so frequently about being on the Tonight Show as a stand-up, and then the next day being like people know you? Did you have that?
No, maybe a little. Of course, it was different then. There wasn't a lot of shows on.
Well, right. There's three options.
Yeah.
Right.
It was, the Hopalong Cassidy movie on Channel 12 and maybe Nightline and then Johnny, So that was all of it. Most people watch Johnny. So
It could be life-changing. You couldn't be on an episode of someone's late-night show now and have it change your life. But some people really got sitcoms and stuff off of being...
Freddie Prinze, the classic example. Freddie and I were roommates for a while. And, he did the Tonight. It's so funny. That same day, earlier day, he'd done Merv Griffin and did okay. That was all right. Very comedian Freddie Prinze. Thank you, Freddie. Very funny young man. Just another comic. But it went on Johnny, and I think Sammy Davis was on the couch, and Sammy's screaming and laughing, and and the whole thing, and it all came together, and he got a sitcom the next day, Chico and the Man.
Well, that's a weird thing about perception, right? Is like if we see this person we hold in this crazy esteem, say Johnny, if we see that someone has Mr. Carson, too,
right? Yeah,
Mr. Carson's number, and Carson's laughing uncontrollably, we do the imprint. We go like, oh, this guy's better than everyone else because look how hard this guy we love is laughing.
Well, yeah, I think
like when people would make
that.
Letterman laugh really hard or make you laugh really hard, you'd go, oh, this person's kind of a step above. Look.
To me, that was always the key to try and make Dave laugh when I went on the show. Like, I would do things that I knew would annoy Dave. Like, I would wait for him to come down the hall to go to makeup, and I would have, like, an enormous meatball sandwich. He goes, how can you eat that before you... He says, well, in 10 minutes, how can you eat... Oh, Dave, try more meatballs. And he would go, how can anybody eat? Because he was always a nervous wreck before he went on here. So I got to the point where I would just bring the sandwich out with me, and I go, Dave, and I put it on his desk and get meatball all over everything, And it was a lot of fun. It was my favorite time in show business, actually.
What years?
Oh, the mid-'80s, doing Letterman like that. Because I could really be free. With Johnny, I couldn't go, hey, Johnny, nice tie. What is that?
Right, he wasn't a peer, whereas Letterman was.
Yes, Letterman was a peer with the same age. The points of reference
You had a history.
were the same. The history, the whole bit,
And there are don't you find that there's certain people that I, for whatever reason, I just really want to make that person laugh. And it makes me up my game, and I love being around people like that.
Oh, yeah. Seinfeld and I do that. Whenever Seinfeld and I talk on the phone, inevitably we each come away with something.
Some new...
Yeah, we were talking about, I'm not going to say it was, a comic who was very esoteric, not so much jokes. And I said, they're funny here, but, you put them in the Sand and Gravel convention in Vegas, and not going to be so... And Seinfeld will go, Sand and Gravel. Every time he goes, Sand and Gravel convention. And it's one of those things, I wish I said that.
Yeah, for sure.
And that's what makes me laugh,
Yeah.
Like Jerry did a bit the other night that I said, I wish I had that. It was about telephones, like in the old days, the phone, like when we were kids, the phone would ring. I'll get it. Now it's, who do we know at 503? Who do we know lives there? Don't answer that, And then I was like, why didn't I see that? I was right in front of me. And when he said that to me, I fell off the chair. It just made me laugh. So trying jokes out on each other is great fun.
Yeah, and you don't drink, as you said.
No, not for any more religious person. I just don't have any interest. It doesn't interest me.
Have you ever?
No.
Never once.
Well, maybe I tasted. I just don't drink. It doesn't interest me,
Yeah. You say that like that's just standard, but
Normal.
it's so interesting.
Well,
of course,
no, I
I
find-
drank way too
I
much and
found
had to quit.
comics are
so-
either one extreme or the other.
Yeah.
I don't find anybody moderate. I find either guys are abusers, high all the time, never knew he was drunk till I saw him sober kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Or completely abstain.
Right.
Very rarely do I see. Like Rodney, I don't know how Rodney existed as long as he did. You know, Rodney drank, did every crazy ass thing.
Oh, yeah. I've heard stories from people who've worked with him about just the cocaine consumption. And it's just, it's amazing.
Yeah, I'll tell you, in 2001, I had Rodney on The Tonight Show. And I love Rodney, and I know his mannerism. And I know, you know how he always goes, hey, I'll tell you, he touches.
Yeah.
His hand was in the wrong spot.
Oh.
And I was sitting there watching that. I called Debbie. I said, Debbie, call paramedics. I think Rodney's having a stroke, you know. She said, why? I said, his hand movements are way off. He just, I mean, the audience didn't see it. It was over here. It was always this, you know, it's tough.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
his hand movements are, I said, I just call paramedics. Just have him here. Okay. So Rodney comes, he sits down. He's fine. They go in the dressing room with the paramedic. Hey, Rodney, with the paramedic. Whatever, Jay thought you having a stroke. What are you talking about? I'm fine. He had a stroke.
No shit.
Yeah, he had a stroke. And they took him to the hospital.
Oh, my goodness. And
Yeah.
you witnessed it.
Well, it was interesting. And then a couple of years later, Rodney had another bad stroke.
Uh-huh.
And this is, a day or two before he died. And I'm in the hospital, and Joan, his wife, is great. I mean, she's the most loyal woman, and she's sitting there, and she says, Jay, I think Rodney can hear us, but he can't speak or react. She says, Jay, put your finger in Rodney's hand. She goes, Rodney, if you know Jay's here, squeeze his fingers. My finger. And I go, Rodney, that's not my finger. You know? and I see Rodney, and he twitches. And Joan laughed, and I laughed, and I could see that he thought it was funny. And I thought, I made Rodney laugh when he was in a coma. Yeah. You know? I mean, I don't say that, but I mean, I was glad I could make him laugh, I guess is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Because he was always killed me. You know, it was never political, it was just so different from today. Now we live in an era, if people don't like your politics, they don't like your music, they don't like your comedy. Now you have to say what you are, what you believe, where you stand on every issue.
Yeah.
I mean, there are plenty of people, I don't want to know. I just want to enjoy their performance. You know, I
Yeah.
don't need to know how you feel about this, that, or the next thing.
Yeah. Yeah, we talk actually a lot about that on here. And I had a show creator on who made this point that I thought was really neat, is that people always had opinions, but they used to use their art to get their opinion across.
Yeah.
Their story, their power of story, not 140 characters.
Yeah, I mean, you could figure out where somebody stands
Yeah.
just by the things they talk about or the way they treat other people or whatever they say. You know, now you have to. I remember we had, who shall remain nameless, we had a comedian audition for the show, and his opening line was, you know, I'm a liberal Democrat, and he would go into the jokes, you know. And I said to him, you know, just do the jokes, and then people, believe me, people will know where you stand.
Right,
by the time
right.
He said, no, I want to do it this way. And he did it that way, and it was okay. But you see half the audience,
Well, they're immediately alienated if they're not also liberal Democrats.
Right, yeah, you know. And it was like, no, you're a comedian first, okay? Joke comes first, point of view, whatever you want to get.
You're not hosting a
always comes
political
second.
rally. If they
Right,
came to your
right.
political rally, you
Exactly.
should
Well,
definitely,
exactly,
it's time
exactly.
to say exactly
Yeah,
where you stand.
exactly.
Did you have favorite guests over the years? Who are a few of your favorite guests?
You know, I like politics, so that was always fun. The first time I had Barack Obama, he came by himself. He had his jacket over his shoulder, you know. Hey, Jay, my name's Barack Hussein Obama, running for president, you know. And he came on the show, and he goes, my name's Barack Hussein Obama, running for president. I said, okay, let's look at this here. A black guy nobody ever heard of, whose name was Hussein. Yeah, you're going to be a two-term president. Yeah, you're going to go far, Bill. And, you know, he was really funny. I mean, he was really laughing.
He has one of the most incredible senses of humor of any
he's a
president,
great guy.
right?
He gave me his cell phone number, you know, and then one day I was with some friends, and he'd been elected president, and we were talking, and I said, hey, he gave me a cell phone. You still got it? I said, yeah. What? I said, I don't think it works, Sam. Let's try it. Hello? It's Brock.
No.
I said,
Oops.
Mr. President, Jay Leno. Jay, what's up? No, you gave me. Now I feel so stupid. You gave me this. Okay, now go ahead, Mr. President. I know you're probably busy.
Right. Yeah. You're probably getting debriefed.
No,
on
I
our-
loved him. He was a great guy. I really did. I really did.
And when he would do the White House Correspondents' Dinner, it was very impressive.
Boy, he was better than any comic. You know?
Yeah.
He had good timing. He could play.
It's the confidence thing, right? He just
Reagan was funny too. I did it. Reagan was the first time I did it.
Oh, really?
That was the only time I got nervous because I'm backstage and this general comes back and he's got all these medals. Go, hey, are you the comedian? Are you the entertainer? I go, yes, sir. Let me tell you something. That's my commander in chief. You understand that? That's the president of the United States. That is my boss. That is the leader of the free. And he's poking me like, listen, and you don't make fun of him. You don't denigrate him. Okay. So I'm like, oh, yes, sir. Okay. Fuck. I'm thinking, geez, I got all these jokes, you know. And then George Shultz, remember him, Secretary of State?
No.
Well, George Shultz come back. He's got a drink. Go, Leno, come here. Nail Ronnie's ass to the wall. Okay, get out there. Nail him. Well, said that general told me, screw him. He works for me. I'll deal with him. You make fun of that black crap in Ronnie's hair. You think it's really black at 878? Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, go out there, nail his ass. So, yeah. So it was, in fact, the opening joke that night, I think, was... I want to congratulate Nancy Reagan on winning the Humanitarian of the Year award, and they'll applaud. I'm glad she beat out that conniving little bitch, Mother Teresa. Oh, and it's got and I see Reagan. Oh, Reagan laughed. So then I knew I was in good shape.
Yeah, of the stressful stand-up jobs you've taken, it's that, and what else? Is there anything else that you...
That wasn't that stress. No, I've done some off. I opened for Rare Earth once. Do you remember them?
No.
Remember the Get Ready, Get Ready?
Oh, yeah, Get Ready.
Yeah, all that.
Yeah.
So anyway, I walk out on stage, and the crowd is there to see Rare Earth. Sure. And I see the mic is on a stand, and I see the cord goes off the stage down into the crowd. And I go, that doesn't look good. And I start talking. Next thing I know, the mic is ripped out of my hand. I go, and I hear, hey, Larry, screw you. He running. So now I jump down off the stage. I'm in the audience looking for the mic. I'm pulling the cord, trying to find where it went. And people are just yelling obscenities in it. Then it goes blank. Now I have the cord with no mic on it. And now I'm in the audience. Mm-hmm. And I got charged $75 for losing the mic.
Now, another thing that I've picked up a bunch from Stern episodes, this has happened, I don't know, 10 times, where people they'll be on talking about some crisis they had in their public life. Uh-huh. And on numerous occasions, people have said, Howard will go, who did anyone call you? And I think about 10 times I've heard people go, yeah, Jay Leno called me. He picked up the phone and called me.
Yeah.
There's like a ton of people that you've done that for.
Yeah, I remember it happened with Remember Marr?
Bill Maher, when he said that they were heroes, they were brave.
Because
the terrorists were brave.
That kind of thing.
Yeah.
Look, I know Bill Maher, whether you like Bill or not. He's a true American. I mean, I think he's a patriot. He's exactly what the country's about. He has a different point of view than mine. And you know something? You get no bullshit. He'll tell you exactly what he thinks. Other people go, well, I don't necessarily agree. And they won't say. But he, I know I give him a lot of credit. I've always admired him. And just because he had a different point of view, and I called him up, invited him on the show, and we took a little bit of heat. But I think we also had people who liked it. The fact that, well, that's what America's about. You say your piece,
Yeah. And that would happen over 17 years, the first run, I guess, and then another 3 or 4. So 20 years.
Yeah, but on TV for a while.
You were on for
22 years.
22 years. Yeah. And in those 22 years, people often would come on to kind of make their apology, right? Did that happen? That happened kind of frequently, didn't it?
Yeah, people just screw up and you invite them on. Hugh Grant, remember Hugh
Grant?
Oh,
right.
But see, that was the classic, bad boy. It was one of those wink, wink, handsome leading man from England picks up street hooker.
Yeah.
I mean, it was class warfare.
Sure.
It was rich versus poor.
Yeah.
It was
there are a lot of themes.
It was
going
Pretty
on.
Woman. It was Kiss Me Kate. It was it was Lady in the Tram. I mean, and I gave him a lot of credit. He didn't come with a press agent. He came by himself. He said, ask me whatever you want. I screwed up, And he was very honest about it. And he was very funny.
But knowing you and knowing that you have kind of a kind sensibility, I was curious, were those episodes hard for you? Did you hate to have to go like, all right, let's get into this person's dirty laundry?
I always talk to people in the dressing room beforehand. A lot of shows don't like to. I don't want to shock the guests. And I always say to them, look, I have to ask you this. You can ignore the question. You can answer the question. But I've got to ask you this question, okay? Or otherwise, why are we here? And that's pretty much what we did. I mean...
And in general, their response was like, I get it?
Yeah, most people did. Yeah, sure,
Yeah.
sure. Some people get mad. Or
Were there
something.
any ones where you're like, oh,
Yeah, I
I
remember
don't want to
Joaquin
be doing
Phoenix's
this?
manager got mad at me because I said to him, he was just out of it.
Yeah,
And
he's
I
doing
said,
that.
Yeah, and I said to him, well, next time you're here, I hope you can come in person. That'd be great, you know.
Right.
And the manager, what was that all about? He will never be back. Oh, stop it. It's so fine with me.
Now, the last thing, and I'm going to let you get back in your cute Jeep that you arrived in.
Yeah,
Speaking of no seatbelts, I just love Jay arrived in a Jeep with no doors and seatbelts.
That's the
and he
World
did-
War II. That's a Normandy Beach Jeep.
Oh, really? Actually, was there?
Yeah.
Wait, how many do you have? How many cars?
Oh, you sound like my wife.
I'm just curious. That's so curious.
186 cars.
Wow.
And about 163 motorcycles.
Are you so jealous?
I mean, when I'm there, what would I even compare it to? You know, it's just, it's overwhelming.
It's cheaper than hookers and coke. Look at Charlie, you know.
Yeah, he could have had your
Could
car
have
collection.
had the car collection,
Yeah.
but no. You know.
I'll tell you what I selfishly thought when I was at his garage is Jay has no heirs. I mean, don't I get one of these cars? I mean, who are
I
these
see.
cars going to? Couldn't you just earmark one, like
That's
the shittiest car there?
Not my problem.
It's not your problem.
my problem.
Do you obsess at all at night about like?
No.
You don't.
No.
You and Jerry
What
with
would
this
you pick?
fucking mental
Which one
health.
would you want?
I mean, the collection is so impressive that one couldn't even pick. It would take me
Wow.
all day to really. I'd have like three type of, but I definitely want that 3-seater McLaren you have.
Yeah, that's good.
That thing's ridiculous.
Yeah. No, I don't obsess about things like that.
You don't like you're gonna die and you don't give a shit what happens to all those cars. Where
No,
they
you
end
know
up.
something? People always think they live forever. It's the funniest thing. You know, I was in Vegas and I was in one of the hotels. I think it was the Hilton. It's not the Hilton anymore. And I see a guy carrying a big Elvis. A couple of guys carrying a big Elvis thing. You know, I goes, "Hey guys are putting up an Elvis display." He goes, "No, we're taking it down." I go, "How come?" Nobody knows who he is anymore. You know, and
Jesus.
most of the people that do are 70 or 80. Okay, and I'm thinking, okay, if they don't know Elvis anymore.
Oh, 100%.
Where do I stand?
Yeah.
So, you know something, you enjoy it while you can. You have
Yeah.
a good time. Oh, I was in Hershey, Pennsylvania, doing a show. And I come out and these people go, "Hey, good night tonight in your show." I see this girl about 17. What do you do? I said, "Oh, I'm a comedian." "Oh, what's your name?" "Jay Leno." "No, I don't know you." I said, "What did you do?" I said, "Well, I used to host the Tonight Show." "What's that?" "Tonight Show. It's a show. It's on late at night." "Oh, I know. I never saw it." And that's what I mean. There's a whole there's a whole generation.
Oh.
And that's fine. And you
Yeah.
can't. "Oh, why doesn't this person know who I?" I mean, you can't be upset.
It's just the nature of
funny.
everything.
It's just the nature of everything. You have a certain time, and you enjoy yourself in that time, and
Yeah.
you get what you get, and that's that.
Yeah. So, okay, I said the thing about the phone calls for a very specific reason. I think you have a side that's pretty well hidden that it does come out, like on Stern, and you find out that you're that kind of guy that does that. You're also, over the years, have had a pretty admirable sense of humor about yourself. That would be so hard for me. Is that easy for you? Or you
Yeah,
just go
I
like,
mean,
it's the only, I know it's the only way I can behave
I mean,
in
I
this
make my
situation.
living making fun of other people, so how can you not be? If, you can't.
Well, a lot of people aren't. I mean, yes, that's an obvious point, but at the same time, it is hard for people. I find it hard to laugh at myself.
my
Like, I got to
mother's-
work at it.
My mother's favorite poet was Robert Burns, to see yourself as others see you. And that's, it's why I don't fool around. I said to myself, okay, this girl wouldn't screw me when I was 25. So why would she do it when I'm 68? I'm a very
yeah.
logical
Sure,
person.
pragmatic.
I very appreciate what I have. Been married 38 years. It's great. We have a great time. We have a lot of fun. But yes, and again, I think I'm very grateful for every single thing that has happened. The real trick to doing this, like with hecklers, if I see a big fat guy heckling me, I make fun of his tie. And 2 jokes in, he realized I'm not going for the
Obvious.
jugular.
Yeah.
He realizes I'm trying to be kind to him. I'll tell you one incident I had of road rage. One day I'm in traffic. It's one of those days. The guy behind me, beep, 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 beep. I'm like, oh, okay. So I pull up. He says, go around me. And the guy goes around me. He gives me the finger. And I pull up. I go, what's that all about? He goes, fuck you, I go, let me guess. You're 52 years old. You're bald. You're fat. You're divorced. Your kids hate you. What was your best day in high school? Was that the greatest day of your life? what kind of job you do? How about, okay, and then he starts crying.
Oh, boy. Oh.
And I go, look, I'm sorry. I said, look, pull over. So pull over. So now I get in his car, and he goes, you're right. Everything you said is true. And I realized I nailed this guy. Everything I said, look, do you really have kids? He goes, yeah, but they do hate me. I said, look, you want to bring them to, they're like Taylor Swift here. You want to come to the Tonight Show? She's on next week. Oh, well, so the guy came, and I got to be friends with him, and his kids met Taylor Swift, and it was okay.
A lot of crazy stories.
No, but it was just stupid. It was just one of those things. But I realized, just looking at this guy, boom, I nailed him.
Yeah, that's an incredible outcome to that.
Yeah,
start.
Hilarious.
So here's the one thing I have to ask you, and I don't want to get into particulars.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not. No, I don't want to get into. There's versions of this that I'm not very interested in. Some of the versions. What is interesting to me is you. I from what I know about you, seem very adverse to controversy. The last thing you want is controversy.
Exactly.
You came into that job with controversy, and you left the job with controversy. Isn't that surreal to you? And I have no interest in rehashing anything, but I am.
Here's my answer.
Yeah.
When you play football, who do you tackle?
The quarterback, I guess.
The guy with the ball.
Oh, the guy. Yeah, that's a better answer. Mm-hmm.
And that's really what it is. Because suddenly people of my friends, suddenly I was this erudite, really funny comic. Well, now I suck.
Uh-huh.
Because I'm on TV, because I'm writing jokes every single night. You're writing a 12-minute monologue every single night.
Yeah.
And now you're not the cutting-edge guy anymore. And you're richer and you're more successful. So you're not going to, so you took a lot of heat with that. But I wouldn't change anything.
But did it hurt your feelings?
Oh, sure it did.
Okay, that's
sure
what I wanted
but
to know.
But you learn from your mistakes. A story I've told before, and is why whenever I see these women that get sexually assaulted, and people go, oh, why didn't they come forward? Because, when I was 19, I went into a club in Boston. I said, I'm a comedian. And this guy says, you in the union? And I said, no, you got to be in the union. I can't hire you unless you're in the union. I said, well, I didn't even know there was there's AGVA, it's here, it's union. I said, oh, well, yeah, go see my friend. Go see this guy. Give this guy a go. So I go to this union office, and I knock on the door. Come in. And I said, I want to see about joining the union. What do you do? I said, I'm a comedian. How long have you been a comedian? About a year. A year? Supposed to join within 6 months. I could find you right now. And he starts yelling at me,
Jesus.
So I said, well, I said, geez, no, I do. I'm just trying to work a club. The guy said I had to see. He said, all right. I said, well, how much is it to join the union? He says, $300. I said, well, I don't have $300. And then he said, how much you got? And I went, I got 75. Took my 75 and gave me a business card, wrote on the back, Union Man. He says, hey, show this to anybody. So I go back to the club and I go, hey, the guy gave me the card. He goes, what? He goes, the guy goes, laughs in my face. Charlie, how much you take it for? I said, $75. Oh, it's the funniest thing. Now, kid, we don't get out of here. And I realized, then I felt like Coco in Fame. Remember the last scene where, maybe she thinks she's in a movie and it's a porno movie. Oh, yeah. And I realized that's what women must feel like when they get, this is obvious, not half as bad.
Sure.
But it made me empathetic to these people that said, why didn't they? Because you want to be in show business so bad. Mm-hmm. I knew I was being taken. It was as I took the money out of my pocket, I realized, why am I doing well?
Right. Some spidey senses were telling you.
Maybe there's a chance. And the guy took my money and wrote on this thing and then laughed in my face. And I went, oh, man, I just got taken. And I knew it was, and you're so ashamed. I didn't even tell that story for years. Because until I got successful.
Yeah.
Because it was so embarrassing.
Yeah.
So whenever I would see these Cosby accusers, or even this woman in the Kavanaugh hearing, I go, yes, I believe them.
Right.
That's exact. And if that
I had a far less tragic experience, and I kept that quiet.
Right. And if that hadn't happened to me, I might not be so understanding. So to me, people say, well, what would you change? I go, I wouldn't change it. Every mistake I made, I learned from. And I went, yeah, okay, that made me a more empathetic person, hopefully.
Yeah, I've always thought during that period that it got very high school-y, and then there was sides you had to pick, and it just seemed crazy to me. And I was like, my personal experience with you was like, oh, he's a really nice guy. He comes backstage before you go out. He's just a nice person. I know he calls people when they're down. This seems like a very high school thing to have to pick a side in all this.
Well, that's what show business. That's what it becomes, and I get. Something. It's not. Tim Allen and I Tim and I were talking about this when his show got canceled. And I said, the first rule of show business, you don't fall in love with a hooker, okay? Because you're not going to get love back. And that's what TV is. I mean, they will use you whenever, but these are not your friends. They're people who make money off of you.
Yeah, you're all in business
And when
together.
they think, so that's fine.
Yeah.
That's why I always worked on the road as a comedian. Because when you do the monologue on The Tonight Show, you walk out, even if a joke is not funny, somebody hits a laugh button, and you go, well, that's good. I remember years ago, Robin, at the height of Mork and Mindy, when it was just crazy,
Yeah.
he came in the improv, says, I'm doing some new stuff tonight. Tell me if it's any good. And went in, he did. And Robin was like, yes, me lord, just bouncing off the wall. People are screaming, And he said, was that stuff any good? And I go, no. The material wasn't. I mean, you performed it well. He goes, well, I didn't think it was that funny.
I just said this the other day on here. I loved Robin, and I worked with him, and he's a lovely guy. But often I would be younger, and I'd be watching him on a talk show, and he would go, well, I don't even... And then I would replay the words that were just said.
Right.
And I go, oh, none of those added up to a joke. They were just kind of noises in character, and the characters were funny enough.
And it was funny enough to get it.
Yeah.
But he was asked, and this is not, I'm not putting Robin.
No,
He's
no,
brilliant,
absolutely not.
Brilliant, the most brilliant improv performer ever.
Absolutely.
But what I mean was he could make something that wasn't funny. And he was asking me, was the material per se funny? I go, no, the material wasn't, but you made it funnier.
It's the same thing you accused yourself of when we started, which is Letterman was maybe writing more interesting, better stuff, and you were performing it better.
Right,
so
exactly.
You're not accusing him of anything you didn't say you were guilty of.
Right.
Okay, before I'm gonna let you go now, but I'm gonna tell people something. I had an experience with you before I was ever on your show, and so I know what the real Jay Leno is.
This isn't that men's room thing, is it?
I was going to leave the men's room one out because there's still some court stuff.
I remember a Tinder date.
Yeah.
Statute of limitations.
When on one of my first trips to Los Angeles, I'm with three buddies. We all work for General Motors. We're at a traffic light in fucking Beverly Hills, California. We're at a tower in Sunset, right by the Beverly Hills Hotel. We look over. We're all car nerds, and we see a Cyclone with Corvette wheels.
Oh, yeah. It's almost.
And we're like, oh, that's interesting. Somebody put Corvette wheels on a Cyclone. That's kind of a good... Like, we're on the car for so long before we ever get up to who's driving the car. Someone goes, Jesus, that's Jay Leno driving. And we see it's you. I think I'm 19 or something, maybe 18. And we start making the universal sign roll down your window, which won't make sense to my kids. But we start cranking, right? And you look and you go, and you kind of throw your hands up in the air and then you roll down the window and you're like, yeah, what's going on? And we're like, hey, you put Corvette wheels on this Cyclone. And you're like, yeah, I had them on this thing. And you tell us about, and we're like, oh, yeah, we work for GM and we were on the launch of that thing. Oh, yeah, isn't it great? Vortec turbo 4.3 liter V6. Light turns green, you don't go. You fucking sat there and talked to us four dudes from Detroit, and we're so gracious and lovely. And then the light turned green a second time, and then you left, and we were all like, oh my God, what a nice guy. He just totally...
Hey, how I got that truck?
No, tell me.
My wife and I went to Beverly Hills.
He can't take that compliment. But yeah, continue about the truck.
I went to Beverly Hills to get a Christmas tree, The most overpriced trees, but it said free delivery.
Hundreds of dollars, these Christmas trees in LA.
But it said free delivery in Beverly Hills. Okay. So my wife was like, no, I like this one. Oh, all right. How much? 150. All right, fine. And I said, here's where we live. Where do you live? I live in... Oh, no, that is outside the range. That's next to 25. What? No, it says free delivery. No, I got it. And there was a Chevy dealer. I said, wait here. I know across the street. That was on the side. I bought the truck. I came back. I said, screw you. I put the tree in the truck and drove it home.
$29,000 Christmas tree.
Yeah, that's right. My wife was so embarrassed. But that's how I got that truck.
That's fantastic. You're the only other celebrity I'm now friends with that I met when I was just a kid. The other one was Ted Danson, and he also delivered big time.
Oh, yeah.
Very
Ted's
generous.
A great guy.
Yeah,
Very nice
sweetest guy ever. He sat right where you sat, and I got to tell him that story. Well, Jay, thank you so much for coming.
Well, thanks for having me on, you guys. I appreciate it. I'm sorry I got a bit of a cold here.
No, it's a pleasure, and I look forward to being in your shop again.
Let's do it.
All right. Thanks, Jay.
Thanks.
And now my favorite part of the show, the fact check with my soulmate, Monica Padman. I wanna check them facts all night and party every day. I wanna check them facts all night and party every day.
I got a song.
Yeah, that was Kiss.
I like that. I knew that one.
Oh, you did?
Uh-huh.
I love it when you know stuff.
I know, it's rare.
You know most of the stuff.
I don't know most of the songs.
You're a smart lady.
Thank you, but I don't know a lot of songs.
I almost called you smart young lady, but guess what? You're not really a young lady anymore.
Oh, how dare you say that?
You're not an old lady. You're not a young lady. You're in your 30s. You're right smack in the prime of your earning years and your powers.
Yeah, I guess that's true. I'm not a spring chicken anymore.
You're not a little fawn fumbling around the spring grass trying to find your legs. You're a thriving, powerful woman.
I'll never get those years back.
You don't need them back. They led you right to where you needed to be.
That's true, and they were great. I have no regrets.
A lot of dinners, a lot of avocado toast. Jason Leno.
Yeah, big deal.
Big deal for us. Very flattered he said yes. Every now and then I'll lob off like an email to someone I just know enough to email. I'm like, this is not really cool to me, and I'm sure they're busy. And then immediately his lifelong assistant just immediately called me. He'd love to.
And you know what else? He called me on the phone himself to say like, "Hey, Monica, it's Jay. I'm leaving my house now. I'll be there." Like, what?
Yeah, and then he arrived. I don't know if we talked about it, but he arrived in a Jeep, in a World War II Jeep, which was cool.
Yeah.
Well, what's funny about him calling you is that I'm kind of friends with him. I've been to his shop a couple times. I've done his show, his car show and stuff. I don't have his email or his phone number, but you do.
What happened is I was emailing with his assistant to get this scheduled and get this on the books. And so she had my phone number. So he must have said like, hey, or maybe she sent him that email, but he took it upon himself to call me. And nobody does that. People far less famous than him do not do that. Their assistant would be calling.
Not Jay. He's driving around town in a fucking World War II Jeep.
Calling me on his own.
But that's what I'm saying. You have his number now.
It was private.
Oh, smart.
Yeah.
Well done, Jay.
Yeah. But he's still making those calls, and I really appreciated that.
Yeah, it's that little touch. It's that bedside manner.
I fear we're losing that as generations progress.
I think you're probably right.
Like, I don't even call people I don't call people anymore. I have my neighbor do it.
Right.
You know?
The guy who's always killing darts in the alley.
He sits out in the alley and watches me change.
God, what a lucky guy he is.
So he says he'll take on some of my phone calls.
His apartment should rent for $15,000 a month. If they advertised it as a direct view into Monica's bedroom, I have to imagine some creep out there would pay $15,000 a month.
He's seen some stuff.
Oh boy.
Yeah. You know who else? Update. I did not get fired off of my commercial.
Oh yeah.
And we said we would update, and I'm updating. I didn't get fired. It went great. But during the fitting, this has to do with working very close with Kristen, I think. She doesn't have time for discretion. So she's changing all over the place, and I'm more modest than that.
To know Kristen is to have seen her naked.
Yeah.
I mean, literally, I think everyone who's ever worked with her has seen her naked.
Probably, yeah.
So confident.
So I have inherited that from my mom, and I
inherited what? Shyness or
no? I inherited.
Oh, your mom, your Kristen mom.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought you meant your real mom. I'm like, there's no way your real mom is like flashing her.
No.
Right.
No. I inherited from my Kristen mom.
Yeah. Your baby.
Yeah, and I was in the fitting, and I was like, fuck this. Like, I'm not waiting for the bathroom. I do not have time. And so I just kind of stood, not even in a corner. I just kind of like stood and was changing. And there were boys around. There was an open window. And I was like, I should care. And I don't.
There was boys around?
Yeah.
Were they straight boys? Wow.
I don't know if they were or not.
Congratulations, boys.
I felt a little codependent because I was like, oh, they're going to be uncomfortable because they're going to know. Yeah. Because they're going to know that they're not really allowed to look, but they might want to, but they don't really know what to do.
They found a way. There was some reflective surface, hopefully, that they got a little bounce back.
Peak.
Yeah, and you should never.
I was wearing a bra and underwear, but it was a thong.
Oh, boy. Wow.
Yeah.
Well, and again, we've covered it, but just, fat naturals galore. You never need to feel bad about those being out around a guy. The power structure is what it is. So you're not, no guy's going to be afraid to stick up for his right. So just never be concerned. What you've definitely given those boys was the best birthday present of 19 came their way.
You know what? Some of them might have been married.
Even better. Good for them. They didn't even search it out. They just, all of a sudden they looked down. There was a silver platter in their lap and a delicious prime rib sandwich. Good for everyone. Good. You should feel generous and good about that.
Thank you. I do.
As long as you felt safe.
I did. I didn't care at all.
Great.
I had to do some self-reflecting after that. Like, I should maybe care.
Yeah.
But I didn't.
If you have to make yourself care about something, that's horse hooey.
Yeah. So yesterday, we purchased some medicine.
Oh, uh-huh.
That had Sudafed in it.
Pseudoepinephrine.
The good kind.
Yeah.
And you said you liked it because it made you alert.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That scared me that you said that.
Why?
Because any time you attribute a feeling to a drug, I don't think it's good.
I can see where that's a red flag for you, but I don't really see the distinction between that and a cup of coffee. A cup of coffee also makes me alert.
Yeah.
Nicotine also makes me alert. When I'm sick, I feel foggy. My brain feels slow.
Yes.
And when I take Sudafed or pseudoepinephrine, I feel back to base level.
Yeah. Oh, I took it and I felt great yesterday.
Did
I was
you?
really bummed that I didn't take it during my commercial. I was like kind of mad at you for not introducing that to me earlier.
But look how hesitant you are. You're just like Kristen. I'll say like, oh, take that. Why? Like Kristen will be sick for so long.
I'm not worried about me.
Oh, okay.
Because I don't do that. Like, I didn't feel like, I felt sickness-wise better.
Yeah.
But I didn't feel like, it's doing something for me that I am not getting otherwise. But maybe I totally misunderstood what you were saying.
Also, here's a great, like one time I was drinking a non-alcoholic beer at a nightclub and I ran into someone I know from sobriety. Uh-huh. And they go, you drink near beer? And I go, yeah. And he goes, you know what they say? When you're near beer, you're near beer.
Oh,
and I go, okay, but just so you know, here's how I know this isn't real beer. Because when I drink 4 of these, I don't go buy cocaine.
Right,
So that's how I know it's not real beer.
Yeah,
So I'll just tell you. And similarly, I don't take 8 Sudafed.
Yeah.
I take a Sudafed as prescribed, and then I don't abuse it in any way. If it were a little more powerful and it brought the beast online, I would eat a whole box of them.
Right.
So that's how I know it's in the zone. Okay. Like there's no way I could ever do a line of cocaine.
Right.
And then the box of cocaine just in the cupboard. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's like a very easy distinction for me to make. Like, do I crave for the thing after? So it doesn't make me feel that alert or optimistic that I would.
I probably
abuse it.
misunderstood then. I'm sorry.
No, you don't need to be sorry. I mean, all I heard is that you're concerned about me and
That's
you love
what
me.
it was.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it was.
I'm grateful for that. I have to explain myself to people. I lost the right not to.
Well,
and that's okay.
I don't want you to feel like that. Like you have to explain yourself to me. I just...
Well, to alleviate fears that are very grounded in my past behaviors. So I'll live with that, forever.
Yeah. But I'm sure it's annoying.
When I do fantasize about drinking in my retirement, which I always tell you, like, as soon as my penis doesn't work and I don't drive a car anymore and I only drive a golf cart, I think, well, why not drink? Well, what are the consequences?
Yeah.
When I'm having that fantasy, I have to include the fact that everyone's going to be so uncomfortable around me while I'm just enjoying the twilight of my years at 85.
true.
Like, no, I'm going to have a whole new batch of friends so that I can, or they're going to have to just get with the
You're
program.
going to get rid of us?
Well, otherwise, I'll be enjoying my Miller High Lifes driving my golf cart. Penis is totally flaccid, not going to function ever again in my life. And people will be concerned.
Yeah.
They won't want to be around me, even if it's fun. Like, are we supporting? Are we enabling him? So I'll probably have to pick up a couple new friends.
I want to be still hanging out with you then.
Yeah, it'll be a blast, though. Cruise around in my golf cart with my flaccid penis and See what kind of non-trouble we can get into. Shuffleboard. I can't fight anyone.
Yeah,
The bones will be too
that's
brittle.
true.
I'll be
That's
so
true.
hunched over because, so tall.
You'll shrink.
I'll be a C. I'll just
Yeah,
be
you'll
a
be in a
C.
C
I'll be
position.
probably ideal for shuffleboard because you want to be bent over.
That's true.
And you're going to be even tinier, which I can't wait for.
What if I really turn into a mouse for real?
I'll love it. Well, cheese and crackers and Miller High Life.
Yeah. You know what, though? I think when I'm that age, I'm probably not going to be drinking anymore.
That's weird and interesting that we have the opposite.
Opposite schedules.
Here's the other thing. Do you even think someone would, in good conscience, sell me cocaine when I'm 90? Don't you think? No, I'm not. What I'm saying is, it's probably not even a risk of me doing cocaine once I'm drunk because who would sell a 90-year-old man cocaine? That'd be like selling a baby cocaine.
I know.
But if I was a drug dealer and some 90-year-old C came up to me with a flaccid penis and a golf cart, I'd be like, if I sell him this bag of coke, he's gonna have a heart
he'll
attack.
die for
yeah,
sure.
like literally in an hour he'll be dead.
Yeah, they'd knowingly be killing you.
Absolutely. So I also think that's in my favor, that I wouldn't even be able to get cocaine if I wanted.
I think most drug dealers are really ethical, so I think that
too.
you're in good shape. Yeah.
Me too.
Okay, so
Sure, Jay would appreciate this preamble to his fact check.
yes, because he's very sober.
So never drank.
Yeah.
Crazy. Crazy. That's the one group of people I have the hardest relating to. Or not, that's not true. Because my best friend, Andrew Panay, has never drank either.
You
But
just can't understand
I
it.
can't fathom it.
Yeah.
I can't fathom being on planet Earth and looking around at all the other adults and they're all doing this thing they seem to enjoy and just going, never going to try that. It's
Yeah.
just so outside of my nature.
Yeah, I know. It's not outside of mine.
Like if you were juggling chainsaws and you were laughing and having a great time doing it, my next thought would be, I got to try that. If I observe someone having a good time and enjoying something, I want to do what they're doing.
Yeah, I don't have that. I
But-
mean,
but you're a heavy drinker, yeah,
I like
yeah.
drinking, but I like it. Like,
Yeah.
it's not because
You like doing drinking.
I like doing drinking. Well, don't say I'm a heavy drinker.
You're a very heavy drinker.
Oh boy. Okay. I did have 2 glasses of wine last night.
If you really had if I was concerned about your drinking, I wouldn't joke about
I
it.
know, I know, I
I'd have
know.
a heart-to-heart with
But
you.
I got a little nervous. I mean, this is the thing. The things that you say to me, I hear.
Okay.
Not in a very good way, but I was noticing that. I mean, I noticed it twice. I noted it twice yesterday because I had therapy, and I was talking about something that you said to me, and that it affected something later. Not bad,
Okay.
and not wrong.
Okay.
You said I have a lot of fears.
And you would also independently over New Year's recognize, oh, my whole family has fear.
Yes. So when I was home and I was noticing that, 2 things. One, there was a part of me that was like, I'm doing fucking great considering.
Right. Yeah.
Like, if you really tuned into how much caution was happening, I've totally surpassed that.
Right.
But I haven't. There are traces. Anyway, but then I felt a little bit like, because I was getting really annoyed with my family because of that, because I noticed it and I was doing my thing with them.
Yeah.
But then when I went back to my guilt, it always circles back to guilt.
Of course.
But I was like, if I hadn't been aware of that, which I was aware of it because of our conversation, I was like, I'm being mean to them because of a conversation that I gave a lot of power to. I would have found a way to be mean to them regardless. It would have been something. It definitely would have been something. I know that for sure. But I was like, I've never noticed this in my life.
Prior.
About them.
Yeah.
And now that I was made aware of it recently and feeling like I really don't like that about myself, seeing it in them and then blaming them and then being mean to them, I was like, ugh, I'm behaving in a way I don't like because of this other thing. Mm-hmm. It was just interesting.
Yeah. Can I just be clear on my thing about fear, though?
Yeah.
My just overall general thought on fear is we typically worry about and obsess over things that A, we have no control over.
Mm-hmm.
B, aren't the things we end up suffering from. It's almost never that, someone who's terrified of getting raped their whole life, they're not worried about breast cancer, and that's what they get.
Sure.
It's just really, I just think if you look at odds-wise, percentage-wise, the things we worry about aren't the things we end up suffering from. So it just truly is a waste of time.
Yeah.
And it's also an incredible waste of time to concern yourself with things you have no power over. Like, yeah, I've said it before on here, but it's why I'm not nervous on an airplane. I have no illusion of any sway over the outcome. I am in a powerless, I'm along for the fucking ride.
Totally.
So any second I spend thinking about it is just a waste of time.
Yeah.
So it's not like I'm saying fear in general is bad or you shouldn't listen to your intuition or anything. I just think it's like something to check in with yourself on, as I try to,
I fully agree with everything you said, and I want to be that. But I think what you maybe aren't considering is you did not grow up in a fear-based house.
Not at all.
Your mom is not
risk taker.
like that.
Not at all. And my dad's even beyond her.
More extreme.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's probably easier for you
Big time.
to shed that. And even like chemically,
Probably.
I've been probably given more of that than you.
For sure.
So anyway, I'm just saying, like, I don't, that doesn't really matter. I still think it's something to work towards regardless of what you've been given. But it just was, I was very aware that I have made progress on that, considering.
Yeah.
Anyway, I forgot why I said that in the first place because there was something else.
Oh, drinking.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So you
tease
joke,
you.
you tease.
Yeah.
But
In my opinion, and I think I've said this to you, you have the perfect relationship with alcohol in my mind. Like if I was shopping for a version, I would want yours. I don't want to be someone who has a glass of wine. I would like to get tipsy.
yeah.
That's to me the fun part.
Yeah.
And not continue doing it till 4 a.m. by myself at home.
Right.
To me, you're right in the sweet spot of what I would want to be as a drinker.
That's true, but it just made me think about it. Like, do I drink? Do I like it more than most people? And the original conversation, you said, I think you like it more than most people. And that made me think, like, do I? Then I sort of came to the conclusion that I don't. But but now I'm sort of back around and maybe I do.
Well, I had said, I was thinking about drinking the other day. And then I was, as you're trained to do, I'm thinking the whole thing through. And what I realized is that if I drink, even if I did it successfully in terms of I didn't black out, I had 4 drinks a night. Even if I could do that version of it, I'd want to do that version of it every single night. There just wouldn't be a night where I wouldn't be in the mood to feel a little more drunk. I don't know, whatever.
Yeah.
I was just being honest with myself that like when I like to do something and I'm doing it in a manner that I don't think has consequences or wreckage, I do that thing at all times.
I know.
I'm not just occasionally in the mood to do the things I like. I want to do them every day, all day.
Yeah,
I don't
feel
forget I like
similar.
things. Like Kristen forgets she likes things
I
all
don't
the time.
understand that. Yeah.
Like, I love this restaurant. I'm like, if I love a restaurant, I think about it once a day. Like, I
know.
got to go there. When am I going next?
I know. I have the same disposition.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, so yesterday I only had half an avocado and a string cheese all day, but I wasn't hungry. It was weird. And then I got home and I was like, should I eat dinner? I'm not really hungry. Oh, maybe I'll have a glass of wine.
Sure.
But then I really was like, what? So I'm going to have wine for dinner. And what is happening? And do I even want it? And then I was standing in front of it and I was staring at it and I was like, do I want this?
Yeah. You're
And
taking me
I
back.
drank it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I was like, I don't have time to think about this. I have stuff to do. I'm just going to pour it and drink it.
Yeah.
And I had 2.
Yeah. That takes me back big time. Because I always was like, I'm going to cook dinner for Bree and I. And I'd start pulling shit out of the fridge, the ingredients, and I'd see the beers in there.
Yeah. It's also fun to cook and drink and do dishes
it's the
and
best.
drink and do laundry and drink.
Yes, and my favorite part of drinking while cooking is you're going to have a couple beers while you make spaghetti, and then at a certain point you're enjoying being drunk so much you don't want to eat anymore. Like I so often for me, I'd be like, well, this was scheduled to be done at 7 p.m., but I know I want to drink at least till 9. I don't want to like ruin this joyous buzz with a big belly full of pasta. So I would just kick dinner down the road a couple hours.
Oh, geez, yeah.
And have those Amstel lights.
Yeah. Anywho. Okay, so he mentions Man on the Moon. Remember he says like, oh, I couldn't see the man on the moon, and then I saw it. And both of us were like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, he said that as if it was as ubiquitous as the moon itself.
Exactly.
Like to know the moon is to know the man on the moon.
Yeah, and so then I looked up some pictures, and it's just the way like it's called. The man on the moon is made up of various lunar Maria. And they're just like flat spots on the moon. They're also called seas because for a long time astronomers believed they were large bodies of water. So it's just
they're really craters, right? By debris that's pounded into the moon over time, I think.
Anyway, but I saw in the pictures, I was like, oh, I see what they mean.
Yeah.
But I've never noticed it in life.
Did it look like Mac Tonight? Remember the McDonald's moon that would sing the song Mac Tonight?
Oh, vaguely.
Yeah, you were just a teeny little mouse baby.
Just a little baby. Okay, did salsa pass ketchup as the number 1 condiment in America? 5 years ago it did. But then I think ketchup came back around.
Ketchup caught up?
Yeah. But there's a lot of conflicting information on what's the most popular condiment in America. So I wish I could be more definitive. But some articles said sriracha.
Don't buy that for half a fucking second.
But then a few, so I'm more likely to believe mayonnaise. Mayonnaise is.
Over salsa and ketchup?
Yeah.
I have to think ketchup is the number 1.
Well, I think ketchup comes in and out.
No disrespect to Jay Leno, but...
Ketchup comes in and out. It depends on the year.
Yep.
Okay, so you said UCLA was $3,800 for tuition. And then you said that you have heard USC is $60,000 a year. Uh-huh. Which, that's because it's private, that it's that expensive.
Yeah.
So it sounded like you were sort of making this connection to like when you were at UCLA, it was only this, and now you heard a USC is 60, but that's sort of not a
apples and oranges.
Right, a little bit apples and oranges. But USC currently is $27,000 a semester.
And you take 3 semesters a year?
No, 2.
Oh, I can't remember how like semesters versus quarters work.
Quarters 4, semesters 2.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So $54,000 for the just classes, and then you have room and board. So it's probably north of 60.
At least, yeah. Yeah, I would say more. Okay.
Hit me with UCLA.
UCLA tuition is $13,225
for the year?
For the year.
Ah.
But I believe that's in state.
Yes.
Because it said total with everything. This is on their website. Total with everything, books, supplies, dorm.
Dorm, that's pricey.
Yeah. That's $34,677 a year.
Mm-hmm. For a better school than USC.
And out of state for everything is $63,000.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, you got to be in state. Also, if you live at home, I'll pay $13,000 for the girls to go to UCLA in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
I'll feel like I'm robbing Peter to pay Paul.
I know. Well, that's like, I had free tuition.
Yeah. Tasty.
They were not going to let me
because of your
do
Native
anything
American
but that.
status.
Yeah, exactly.
But I think what can happen, because it happened to Eric, is that he's told his whole life, and his grandpa was Native American.
I know. It happens to all.
And then something happened, like his conclusion now is maybe someone got adopted and no one said, because he had 0 Native American once he mapped his genome.
Well, no. What it is everyone thinks they've descended from Native American. Like,
well, I think his great-grandpa or his grandpa was visibly Native American.
Really?
Yeah.
That's unsettling.
Yeah.
This is why you can't dive too deep, I mean, you can with 23andMe, but after that, you can't go deeper.
Right. You just Just take the lore and run with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I didn't get free tuition because of my minorityness. There's a Hope Scholarship in Georgia paid for by the lottery.
Cool.
That if you earn a certain GPA in high school, you qualify for free tuition at a Georgia school.
State University. That's so cool.
Yeah. And it was brand new when I was
But not
there.
even your dorm?
No. Just
Okay.
tuition. Yeah. Okay, I wonder if this is interesting. You know, his memory was so incredible. Remember his recall for names?
Like my mom's.
That's what I was about to say. Your mom had the same thing, and they're around the same age.
They are.
I wonder if that's part of it. With all this technology and social media and all these things, it's crowding a part of our brain that could have been used for recall.
For sure.
Ugh.
Like you just meet way too many people and you know people online and all this shit.
Yeah. Ugh.
Even the amount of relationships you can maintain with this technology, because I can maintain 30 friendships by texting. Mm-hmm. But back in the day when I had to sit down and fucking call someone on the phone and hope that they were there, like you physically couldn't maintain that many friendships.
Yeah.
But now you can juggle all these friendships.
And it was probably way more meaningful back then.
Maybe. It's hard to know. I guess I lived through both phases. I have a very idyllic memory of my core friendship group in Michigan, that's for sure. Back when we just called each other on the phone.
Yeah.
And we just always had to be together. It was too cumbersome to track someone down, so you just stayed together the whole time.
I loved talking on the phone. It was a real hobby. I would talk for hours.
Me too.
Hours.
Maybe that was our training for this.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Keeping that ball in the air.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes I'd be like, okay, I have to go eat dinner. Hold on.
Right.
And then I'd go eat dinner and then come back. They'd be waiting and vice versa. Then I'd wait while they ate dinner. I mean.
Did you ever try to go to sleep on the phone with your friend?
No. Well, I don't know.
I have tried to. It's never been successful.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
Like you're talking, you're laying in bed, and it's getting really late. And you're like, or it's like my girlfriend, Randy Hamina. And we'd be like, let's just sleep on the phone together. It sounded so fun.
Yeah.
It was kind of like we were going to be sleeping together.
Oh, yeah.
And we'd be like, all right, good night. And then there would be this
then it's just dead.
20-minute fade, and then someone would have to pull a plug. It was just too bizarre. So what were you eventually just going to hear? Like,
doing? Yeah, but then you wouldn't hear it because you'd be sleeping.
Well, whoever fell asleep first, though, you might hear like cute Randy Hamina going like,
that's cute. That's kind of
I would have liked it.
Yeah. I think I would like that.
I like all this stuff, you know, that about me.
I like
even if I would have heard her like a little toot on accident or something.
Like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so speaking of memory, Mary Lou Henner, lady with the super memory.
From Taxi fame.
Yes. Her condition is called hyperthymesia.
Ooh.
Yeah. Or total recall memory.
Like the Schwarzenegger movie.
I know.
Total Recall.
I'm so jealous of this.
Although you know it's accompanied by a bit of
forgot.
OCD. You don't have a hard time looking at me when I do this accent, do you?
No, I don't. I'm going to get better.
Okay. Yeah, but I wouldn't want the accompanying OCD.
That's true. But
it's not worth it to me.
But she can remember specific details of every day of her life since she was a small child.
Yeah. She can tell you the weather of any day. You can just hit her with a date and she'll go, oh, it was rainy. Until about noon, it cleared up. She did that on 60 Minutes.
Wow.
It's crazy.
She said the closest description of the way her memory works is the scene selection feature on DVD menu. She says she sees her memories as an entire year that she can scroll through, and then when she locates a particular memory, she can go into see dates and other various details, such as what she was wearing and who she was with at the time.
She did also say in that interview, though, that it's hard because she remembers all the pain very well.
Yeah, that's interesting.
That most people forget.
Yeah. I think the pain is the first thing you forget.
Yeah,
the bad
totally.
Stuff. So the good stuff sticks around a little bit more, so that would be hard. And also what's hard is if she were being accused of a crime, she couldn't be like, oh, I don't remember what happened between 2 and 4. I don't remember. That was 3 weeks ago. I don't remember. Like, she remembers.
She does. She knows she committed that crime.
Yeah.
In every horrid detail.
Exactly.
How many plunges of that blade into that
person.
Abdomen, yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
God.
Yeah.
You really took it there.
Whenever we watch these crime shows, which we do a lot, and whenever they find stabbing victims, there's always a shocking number of strikes. Have you noticed this?
Yeah.
What's occurred to me is once you start stabbing somebody, you get carried away.
Yeah.
That's obvious. It's always 32 stab wounds, 64 stab wounds. I mean, I can't think of anything grosser than inserting a knife into a human body.
Ugh.
And the thought that people minimally do it 32 times when they choose to lets me know that it quickly gets out of hand. Once you cross that threshold, you just can't stop.
Well, I think your brain is probably already on some type of hyperdrive if you're even beginning to start stabbing a person.
Great point.
Yeah, but yeah. Okay, WD-40. He said that's water
displacement.
He said dispersant.
Oh.
40 tries.
Yeah.
Took the 4 tries. And that's true, but it's water displacement. But water displacement 40th formula.
He's so knowledgeable.
So cool. Yeah.
I don't think he didn't really allow me to put as fine of a point on it as I wanted to. But when I tell you that he knows every single screw in a fucking Weber carburetor, it is. I've never seen someone's brain work the way his does in front of something mechanical.
Yeah, that's so interesting.
We also didn't get into it, but in his shop, he doesn't just have cars. He's obsessed with all mechanized anything. So he has one of the first steam-powered generators in there. He has all these steam generators, locomotive engines, everything, and he knows every part of those. He knows shit, 200-year-old machine. He knows every piece of. He could put it together and make it run.
That's crazy.
I got to tip my hat to Jason.
I do too. I don't wear hats, but I'll tip my head.
Yeah. You'll bow.
I'll bow for him. Okay, so you sort of say Leno, he's kind and he'll call people after incidents or something. And he mentioned Bill Maher. Uh-huh. And I didn't really know or remember what you were talking about or he was talking about.
Brave.
He's right around 9/11, right after. He, on his talk show Politically Incorrect, his former talk show, he said, "We've been the cowards lobbing cruise missiles from 2,000 miles away. That's cowardly. Staying in the airplane when it hits the building, say what you want about it, not cowardly." Mm-hmm. That was his quote.
That really rubbed people the wrong way.
I guess, did not like that. I mean, I think just because the heightened...
It was so close to the wound.
Yeah.
Hadn't even...
Correct.
Yeah, there was no healing.
I know.
It is weird, though. It's one of those moments where your nationalism trumps your dedication to the truth, which is just on paper, it's a factual statement that one thing takes more courage than another.
Yeah.
To push a button versus... grab the yoke. But
yeah.
But we want to be able to reserve all pejoratives for them. So we want to be able to call them cowardly. We want to, every bad word we must reserve for them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know. It's fascinating. That's it.
That's it?
Yeah.
Well, you brought that plane down onto the runway in perfect timing because we have a guest about to arrive.
Yes.
And I have to take 3 more P's.
Touché about plane landing.
Oh, beautiful.
Good transition.
Thank you. But not a touche. This is we always debate this with Jess. Touche is a comeback that kind of trumps the first burn.
Okay.
But touche is generally I go, nice hat, but I'm wearing I have a flower in my lapel. And you're like, nice flower. And then I go, touche.
That's right.
It's a fencing term, I think, right? It's like a counterattack.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. We need to learn more about fencing.
Yeah, sure do. Okay,
all
that's
right.
all.
I love you to pieces.
Love you.